Let's go with 19 degrees at 6:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Good morning. Good morning, Carl. Good morning, Rose.
You know, it's insane to me that monkey bars are allowed on playgrounds.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, the whole point is that there are kids there. Should we really be encouraging monkeys to drink in front of children?
It's a lot.
Monkey bars. You got something there. You got a good one in there.
Tighten it up.
Yeah. I have a question for you. We all know what Venmo is, right? Venmo is a app on your phone.
It's PayPal.
That you can transfer money back and forth to people.
Yes.
What is Vimo? What is Vimo? Vimeo.
Vimeo.
Vimeo. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Vimeo is a YouTube-like service.
Oh, okay.
It shows videos.
Got it. Vimeo. It's got seven. It's got seven. What do you call that when you have Vinny? Maybe I need sleep.
Day 3.
Vimeo. How many
impressions?
No.
Views?
Where do I see Vimeo's a YouTube
has got
service?
5 words and it's got 3 Vimeo.
Yes.
What is that? Vimeo. What is that?
I'm sure it's video, image.
No. When a word has 3, right?
Syllables.
Syllables. Thank you. Vimeo has 5 letters and 3 syllables.
Yes.
Sorry. This nighttime show is killing me. It's not going so
You
well.
have a 5-year-old. She should be learning about syllables.
I know. I'm losing my mind around here. Vimeo. Okay. Thank you very much.
It's a video service.
Okay.
Very much like YouTube.
Event or Eventbrite?
Yes. That is a ticket service.
Okay. They're being purchased today by a company called Bending Spoons.
Ooh, an Ari Geller?
An Italian company. A Milan-based Italian software conglomerate. They've bought Vimeo and AOL, and now they're buying Eventbrite, which is...
So they can sell tickets.
Well, their whole Eventbrite was a hot commodity, was worth billions of dollars. Now they're buying it for pennies on the dollar. But that's the one where, like, if you want to go to, like, the county library and you need a ticket, you just use Eventbrite, right?
Yes, rather than using a Ticketmaster.
A Ticketmaster, which would be too big for the whole thing. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Vimeo. Didn't know that one.
Do you remember Lightbright? Lightbright. Do you remember that?
I do remember Lightbright, and
I'm sorry,
I hate Lightbright.
Why? How can you hate
It took so
Lightbright?
long.
I will tell you why. I have a 5-year-old, and 3 different people have purchased her Lightbrights.
Seriously? They still make them?
Yes.
The pegs
Yeah, they
are.
are.
I mean, all I'm doing is picking up these stupid pegs all over the house.
Worse than stepping on a
Wait,
leg.
so
my
did they make
goodness.
like a newer version of it, or is it
No,
still
no,
like the
same
same?
thing.
Still, yeah.
Lightbright.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's-
gosh, I loved it.
Somebody sent that to her, and I was like, why would you? Look at all these pieces she can swallow. Why would you do this?
And you can only use it once.
Oh, I loved
What?
it as a kid. I was like, okay, well,
You can use it more than once.
Well, no, not if you. Once you've used the black carbon paper, it's over.
yeah, see?
And then
really?
you have
Oh,
to-
because you're punching the hole into the.
Yeah.
yeah.
So you get
can't
multiple pieces of. You get multiple carbons. Wait,
Yes.
Wait, what?
So then you have to start over, and it takes forever. And then you're like, okay, turn it on.
Give me a good operation. Give me a good operation.
That game's over in 10 minutes. There you go.
That's fine, too.
I got the old shaky hand.
All right, 610 here, Big 550 KTRS. Let's coming up on the show today. Jim Ryan's going to be joining us. Crackdowns begin in New Orleans. Performance art moves to New Orleans. We'll get into that with Jim Ryan. Karen Travers is going to be joining us. This Signal Gate is back in the news, as well as the missiles or the bombing and the destroying of these fishing boats / drug running boats.
Now there's a family suing.
The Hegseth is taking on water, man. This story won't go away. They won't answer the question. The admiral is now going to testify behind closed doors in front of Congress. So Karen Travers has got all that. Brad Garrett is going to be joining us. We're going to talk about this National Guard shooter and the good, the bad, and the ugly there, now that we're getting more facts about that. Antonio French is going to be along. Frank Cusimano will join us to talk a little sports. And then one of our favorite charity events is coming in, Mid-America Transplant. And we'll check in with them and see all the great work they're doing. And then, of course, in the 9 o'clock hour, phone calls, text messages, and everything else. 6:12 here at Big 550 KTRS. I'm stuck on Light Bright.
So what'd you do with the other two of them?
I'll take it.
Do you remember when Jennifer Williams from Closet Company was on the show and she said that her teenage daughter would have clothes that was inappropriate, and so she would take the clothes and not throw them away immediately, but take them and hide them in a drawer, and if they weren't asked about in a couple of days, to then throw them away.
Charity.
Oh, I see what's happening.
Right. That happens a lot in the Millhaven household.
So how many days are we in the hidden Light Bright that she hasn't asked about?
Oh no, these are long
done,
gone.
so
Yeah, these are long gone. Yeah, but you wait, right? So because she, as all of us do, you don't really need it till you see it.
Right.
It's just more obvious with a 5-year-old. You know, the 5-year-old's like, I want that broken crayon. I need that broken crayon. You know, with adults, it's like, I need that boat. I need that boat.
Right.
I need it.
Brand new lathe.
Right, exactly. So I, thank you. This was a wonderful. Thank you. It's very sweet of you. I'll just hold it over here, and then
you can regift it.
No,
or,
why would I? I would no.
Give it to somebody else. I mean,
I only had half the parts.
Oh, because she tried it.
Because it was strewed, or the dog ate them, or it was up the vacuum cleaner, or who knows where they ended up. The nooks and crannies of the carpet.
Oh, that's so fun.
I mean, some of the whole idea of some of these games is the parts are so small. Is the idea that they'll all be lost in 3 hours, so you have to go buy it again or buy more? Because even these, Disney character scenes where they've got the Disney character has the shoe, and the shoe is the size of your, your thumbnail, or they've got a sword, or just the tiniest of tiniest. It's like, who's gonna play with this? What are you gonna do with this? I don't know. It is what it is. All right, 6:14 here, Big 550 KTRS. Captain Paul Kopsky is in the St. Louis Closet Company Shopping Center. Good morning, Captain Paul. Can we have a day here this week that's relatively easy?
I think this one might be easy, but it will be cold. But that makes no difference in driving. So,
all right, how are we starting off?
Well, the roads are looking good right now with no accidents or slowdowns. Taking a look at some drive times, it's an 8-minute ride from 270 in Tesson Ferry to Manchester, 9 minutes from 55 and Lindbergh up to 44, also 9 minutes to go from 5570 in Collinsville to downtown St. Louis, and the signals are on flash at Tesson Ferry and East Concord, and at Route N and Hawk Ridge. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations, on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
A few flurries or a light dusting of snow possible into the evening. The impacts from this expected to be pretty minimal, but if you see those flakes falling, just be aware some isolated slick spots are possible. Take it easy. Temperatures get real cold after a front passes through the area. Wind chill in the single digits at times. High temperature only rising to 22 degrees. With your first alert forecast, I'm meteorologist Leah Hill for the Big 550 KTRS.
Here's a story for you. More than 1 million bags of shredded cheese sold at Walmart, Publix, and other grocery stores are being recalled.
Target, too.
Target, too. Interesting. The FDA said that the shredded cheese was manufactured from an Ohio-based Great Lakes cheese company and was sold in 31 states and Puerto Rico. The recall is classified as a Class 2 by the FDA, which means that the product could cause temporary or medically reversible adverse health consequences, although the potential for the serious injuries is remote. What's going on? Well, it turns out that it's being recalled because the products may contain metal fragments in your shredded cheese. It's a nice little twist on your hamburger. It's got a little metallic taste to your burger. What's going on over there? So be careful. Baldy Electric is my go-to. Anybody have a go-to electrician? Never thought I'd get to the stage in my life where I needed a go-to electrician. But that's Michael Baldy. First of all, the guy's the nicest guy in the world. Just a gentlemanly man. Very unassuming, very nice. Runs a company called Baldy Electric. And they know what they're doing. Look, they do big jobs. They do big corporate jobs. They do small house projects and everything in between. I kind of feel bad sometimes when I call them up. I'm like, can you help me screw in the light bulb? Okay, I'm not that bad, but dimmer, yeah. Hey, guys, any chance while you're here, can you put a dimmer over here? Absolutely, can't be any nicer. But they're also involved with big, major office buildings and business buildings and commercial projects and home developments, and they work with big builders and homeowners like you and me. So here's the deal. If you need an electrician, it's always, now that you've gotten to this point in your life, good to have an electrician on speed dial, and that's Michael Baldy. 314-968-9999. I suspect as we try and put out the blow-up mechanical Christmas kids this weekend, might be needing to call Michael Baldy, but he's taken care of us in the past, so I think I'm good. Michael Baldy, Baldy Electric. Put them in your phone, 314-968-9999, baldyelectric.com.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
What do you give the person who's always at their desk? X-Chair. This holiday, give next level comfort with X-Chair ergonomic seating. Dynamic variable lumbar support and SiFloat Infinite Recline has your back. X-Chair elevates work, gaming, projects with everyday comfort. During the X-Chair holiday sale, you can save up to 50% site-wide. Don't wait. These deals won't last. Visit xchair.com and save up to 50% today. That's xchair.com.
Most people think if I name my husband as beneficiary, everything's going to be okay, and that's not necessarily true.
I'm Scott Garcia with Premier Estate and Income Planning.
What am I doing taking care of people after somebody has passed and all the mess that comes with that?
And I'm Jennifer Cermak, Chief Counsel and Estate Planning Attorney of Premier Estate and Income Planning.
No longer is the attorney the gatekeeper to your lives.
Let us show you how to protect your assets, avoid probate, and retire with confidence.
Having an estate plan could be the most important document you could ever have.
The Premier Income and Estate Planning Show, this Saturday at 4 and this Sunday morning at 7 on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, Look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sometimes it seems all lawmakers do is tax and spend. That's why Missouri voters passed the Hancock Amendment in 1980 to place a limit on what the government can do with your money. But the Hancock Amendment is outdated. It hasn't provided a taxpayer refund since 1999 and probably won't without reform. That's why Missouri needs a taxpayer Bill of Rights. Colorado has one, and taxpayers there have received more than $8 billion in refunds. It's simple. There should be limits on government spending and refunds when there's a surplus in the state budget. A taxpayer Bill of Rights constitutional amendment would help limit the growth of government. Missouri's budget has nearly doubled in the past 5 years, yet the state lags far behind states like Colorado in economic growth. The Hancock Amendment was supposed to protect taxpayers. Now it's time for an update and a taxpayer Bill of Rights. After all, it's your money. Learn more at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
What goes great with Mizzou Tigers football? Well, Dogtown Pizza, of course. And with 12 different flavors to choose from, you can have a different pizza every game.
Pepperoni peppercini, hot chicken, the SOB sausage onion bacon, and the newest addition to the lineup, meatball mozzarella.
Forget the pumpkin spice. The best fall flavor is football and pizza. MIZDOG. Dogtown Pizza and dogtownpizza.com. Dogtown Pizza, and check out all 12 flavors online at dogtownpizza.com.
McGraw Millhaven on KTRS.
Rose yesterday was making fun of Kenny G going to CBC High School yesterday. And he went, and it turned out it was great. And the pictures showed that, yeah, it really was actually Kenny G.
Didn't make fun of him.
I'm joking.
It was great that he
We all kind of made.
Yeah, we did.
Wondered why.
He had a receding hairline and long hair. He had the patented Kenny G curl, if you will. And no, you know what? I think that's really cool that somebody of his stature would come in and spend time with the high school and talk about music and right. What a few times that happened to me throughout the years. You always have a special place for those people. I remember we were in college and Magic Johnson came to speak with us, and it was sort of an impromptu thing. I don't know how it happened or what, but all of a sudden you were like, wait. What? They're like, yeah, Magic Johnson. So he went and gave such an inspiring speech. There's a picture out there somewhere of me and Magic Johnson back in 1987, 1988, whatever it was. But I've always remembered that, and I've always had a great affinity for Magic Johnson because, he took the time on a cold night in Lincoln, Nebraska to go speak to a couple of college kids. And he sat and answered every question that we all had about everything and anything, and it was fantastic. So, I think it's actually kind of we're teasing, we're goofing on Kenny G, but I think
pretty tall.
Actually, pretty cool.
You're pretty tall. What was the relation?
Oh, it's like I'm 3 feet tall. Yeah, no, the picture is like I'm on the bottom of the picture, and Magic Johnson's on the top of the picture. Yeah, no, it's very different. There was another story out there that garnered my attention. This dome story. So the dome is looking to. I would love to do a test of or quiz the general public over how the dome is being paid for, how the dome is set up, who owns the dome, right? I mean, it is one convoluted structure over who's in charge of the dome and how it all works. But they want to sort of simplify it and sort of fold it into fold it into one of the other operations so that they can sort of take more control over it. And lo and behold, all of a sudden, now people are complaining and screaming and yelling over the dome. This is why we can't get anything done.
They announced a concert there yesterday.
We can't even figure out how to run the dome, a facility which doesn't have a sports team in it, and it's built and it's been, I don't want to say a albatross around our necks, but what's a little bit better than an albatross around our necks? And we just dumped in hundreds of millions of dollars to get it redeveloped, and I don't know. Sam Page doesn't want it. This guy, it's like you can't sit in a room and figure out the best way to maximize the dome. And you've got 17 different organizations, the downtown now, the downtown tomorrow, the yesterday and today fund, and all that sort of folded into Greater St. Louis Inc. So they kind of want to do the same thing with the dome, right? You've got the Visitors and Convention Bureau, you've got this one, you got that one. Then the county owns it and the state owns a part of it. And so they're trying to sort of merge some of these organizations, save some money, and then be able to, sort of do some other things with the dome. Okay. Actually, I saw the plan, and it was a pretty thought out idea to save some funds and to sort of, don't get 17 people to sign off when you need to, change the sign in the bathroom. But no, that's not good enough. No, my goodness. Well, look at this money grab of the dome. Really? Someone's trying to move in on the dome and take over the dome? I mean, it's not the arch. It's the dome. But this is why we can't. This is why streets don't get plowed. This is why we can't grow as a region.
I mean, it still generates some money, doesn't it, from like conventions and whatnot?
Absolutely.
Volleyball tournaments.
And taxes and hotel and motel taxes and all of those things. It still generates funds. Now, recently these numbers came out. I want to say that it was the equivalent of 600,000 people came downtown for conventions, okay, roughly, which was roughly the same amount of tickets not sold at Busch Stadium. Oh. And so they were making the point in this article I was reading that how the convention center, if to sort of put into the story was about the Cardinals and the attendance. And the 600,000 people, even though they don't spend as much as somebody going to a convention, 600,000 less people in downtown St. Louis for our Cardinal games is at least, right, if half the conventions stop showing up downtown. So there is a important part of the dome in terms of it is bringing 600,000 people downtown. And so whatever restaurants are left and whoever's hanging on and that's 600,000 people who need, cigarettes and candy and socks and, a cell phone charger. And so there's some economic activity downtown. If you didn't have that dome, imagine 600,000 less people walking around downtown. We'll wait and see what happens. But you read this story about how the city and the county now are, that they're all complaining. I want my dome. I want my dome. No. Don't cut us out of the dome. Really? St. Louis County? But it's, the infighting and the muds throwing and the tit for tat stuff is, it's what's killing us. 6:30 here, Big 550 KTRS. St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, the roads are looking good with no accidents or slowdowns right now. Taking a look at some drive times with an eye on the usual slow spots. It's an 8-minute ride from 270 and Tesson Ferry to Manchester. It will take you 9 minutes to go from 55 and Lindbergh up to 44 near downtown. It's also 9 minutes from 5570 in Collinsville to downtown St. Louis. And the signals are on flash at Tesson Ferry and East Concord and at Route N and Hawk Ridge. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
17 degrees right now as we speak. It is chilly out there. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center and weather for the rest of the day, high of 26. No rain, no snow in the forecast. Overnight tonight, low of 15. Tomorrow, we've got a high of 41. And then Saturday and Sunday, we're in the upper 30s. Now, in terms of rain or snow, they now push that off to Sunday. Chance of rain or snow on Sunday is now at 40%. So we'll wait and see how that all turns out. 17 right now. At 6:32, back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
Israeli and Thai officials say remains that militants in Gaza handed to Israel were those of a Thai agricultural worker killed during the attack that started the war 2 years ago. The return of the remains leaves just one last hostage to be returned in the first phase of the ceasefire deal. Russian President Vladimir Putin says some proposals in a U.S. plan to end the war in Ukraine are unacceptable to the Kremlin. That suggests a deal is still some way off despite intense diplomacy by American envoys. U.S. President Donald Trump has initiated a major diplomatic push to stop the fighting, but peace efforts face tough demands, especially regarding Ukraine's territorial concessions and future security. In local headlines, Secretary of State Alexei Giannoulias is leading an effort to help Illinoisans avoid the TSA's new $45 penalty for not having a real ID. Giannoulias announced his office is taking action to make it easier for Illinois residents to get their real ID. And the Giving Machine is returning to West County Mall for the holiday season. The machine collects money for local charities. 19 degrees at 6:33. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Hey, St. Mary's High School is just south on Grand, just past Ted Drew's. And St. Mary's sits a special, special place. They have teamed up with businesses. They've teamed up with unions. They have been teaching the skills for the 21st century. Science, technology, engineering, and math. It's not just that. It's also the hands-on skills so that when the kids graduate from St. Mary's, that diploma they have from St. Mary's not only is valuable, but the doors that it opens up, the people you meet, the things and the places you can go because you have that St. Mary's diploma. You can go to 4-year Ivy League schools. You can go to 2-year trade schools. You can start working right out of high school and start earning a paycheck. You'll also be given the skills to change the world. St. Mary's High School owns its own building. It owns its own lot, if I may steal a phrase. And they've got a great extracurricular activities. They got great sports teams, great alumni. They got it going on over there at St. Mary's. And you know what? The community has responded because now they're starting to see the class sizes grow each and every year. So St. Mary's is on the move. If you're looking for an all-boys Catholic education, look no further than stmaryshs.com. stmaryshs.com.
Since 1974, Permajack of St. Louis has been helping residential and commercial owners protect their biggest investment. From successfully solving foundation structural problems to making sure basements remain dry, Permajack has performed tens of thousands of projects on both sides of the river, utilizing state-of-the-art technology, techniques, and equipment. Permajack of St. Louis has done it with honesty and integrity, never recommending anything outside of what you really need. For many repairs, Permajack provides a transferable life of structure warranty, all while Permajack of St. Louis has earned a BBB A+ rating and accreditation. For foundation settlement, bowed or buckling walls, cracks in your foundation, walls or bricks, or basement waterproofing, choose the hometown family-owned team at Permajack of St. Louis. Schedule your free inspection and estimate at permajackofstlewis.com. That's permajackofstlewis.com. Permajack. solid as rock.
McGraw, live in the morning on KTRS.
There he is.
6:35 here, Big 550 KTRS, with all the news going on in Washington, D.C. Tensions in New Orleans seem to be rising as the immigration officials now target New Orleans. Jim Ryan, ABC News correspondent, has been following this story throughout the year. Jim Ryan, what are they going to expect down in New Orleans?
Well, pretty much what they saw in Chicago and New York. What will the response be? It's hard to say. Will there be violence? We don't know. There have been protests already. There have been demonstrations by people who say that this is an overreach, a federal overreach, and that they don't want to see ICE or the National Guard. But apparently, New Orleans will be getting both. ICE agents began arriving yesterday. The expectation is that between 200 and maybe 250 will be there in the area looking for and apprehending undocumented immigrants. Even the name has been in dispute, McGraw. It's known commonly as Operation Swamp Sweep, but the Department of Homeland Security says that was never the name, that it's Operation Catahoula Crunch, and that's what they're calling it. But the result is the same. It's a big immigration push.
It seems to be a bit of a controversy. The idea was to go after violent offenders. Seems like a lot of nonviolent offenders are getting swept up in this. There even hear stories of these other towns where there have been citizens who've been caught up in all these raids.
Right. And yes, some folks have said that. The immigration rights attorneys say that that's what's happened in Chicago and Los Angeles, those other cities. Department of Homeland Security put out a note saying that over Thanksgiving, they continued this push and insisting that 70% of those taken into ICE custody, have committed some other crime other than being in the country illegally. Their insistence is that these are murderers, rapists, pedophiles, others who are being taken into custody. But 30%, apparently, at least according to the DHS number, were not convicted of or suspected of any other crimes.
Yeah. Now, just so we know, if somebody was in this country without papers, undocumented, and committed a murder, the normal police and prosecutors in the town probably would have arrested them and sent them to an American jail.
Well, right. I mean, murder is illegal, whether you're in the country legally or illegally. And that's what some local police departments have said, that, yes, we're picking up violent criminals. In New Orleans, the police chief says she doesn't normally ask the immigration status of people in her custody. The police chief and the mayor in New Orleans also, they're asking ICE agents who are coming into town that, please wear a uniform, please don't cover your face, don't wear a balaclava or something covering your face, because you can carry a gun in Louisiana without a permit. And if somebody opens the door and here's somebody standing there with a gun and a mask, the concern is that that person might be shot, an ICE agent or someone else.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's happened when, right, the kid knocks on the wrong door to pick up his brother, gets shot, or the maid went to the wrong door, she got shot. So that's a real concern going on. Are they going to, here's my question. I know Chicago got a lot of attention, New York got a lot of attention, Washington, D.C., L.A., now New Orleans. But it's happening here in St. Louis. Anecdotally, I know companies where they can't do some of the jobs because they keep, getting their employees sort of carted away. So it's not just why is a bigger concentration happening in New Orleans than St. Louis? Why is St. Louis now getting all this, or New Orleans getting all this attention?
Yeah, well, you're right, and there are sweeps like this all the time. ICE agents and others out arresting people in the country illegally, and that happens in St. Louis, happens all over the place. But I think part of it is a PR move as much as anything else, on the part of the Department of Homeland Security and others, and this extra concentration of agents in a particular area. In the case of Louisiana, I think, is the only place where the governor has asked for this. He says, he invited ICE agents to come into the cities in Louisiana, specifically New Orleans and Baton Rouge. He made that request to President Trump, and President Trump has responded. He also says that the National Guard, in a separate operation, is expected in New Orleans over the next few weeks.
That is Jim Ryan's got the latest down in New Orleans. The Big Easy is going right in the crosshairs of all this stuff. Jim Ryan, ABC News. Good stuff. Thanks for checking in.
See you, McGraw.
640 here, Big 550 KTRS. Closer to home. Miller Furniture is an American, family-owned, American-made furniture company. They sell American-made goods at Miller Furniture. We know that the furniture business went offshore and never really came back. And what comes back is shipped in a flat box that they attach an Allen wrench to put it together. Looks nice in the pictures. I don't know how functional it is. But at Miller Furniture, they sell real furniture, American-made furniture. Smith Brothers of Bern. They've got mattresses. They got Stickleys. They've got beautiful, gorgeous Amish furniture that you think you know what Amish furniture looks like. Well, very arts and crafts, very green and green, if you will, but beautiful, crafted, gorgeous furniture coming out of some of those Amish factories. And so Miller Furniture has them. And they've got financing up to 60 months. They've got all sorts of special deals going on. And they have a mattress. Buy a Chatham & Wells mattress, Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and oftentimes you buy the mattress and they'll throw in the adjustable base for free. 4 locations at Miller Furniture. MUELLER, MillerFurniture.com.
The final stretch of your career isn't about slowing down. It's about getting strategic. Those last 5 years before retirement can define your financial future, from maximizing contributions and paying off high-interest debt to mapping out health care and testing your post-retirement budget. This is your moment to take control. At Pioneer Wealth Management, we help you connect all the moving parts. Real peace of mind starts long before your final paycheck. Investment advisory services offered through Creative One Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Pioneer Wealth Management and Creative One Wealth are unaffiliated. Life insurance professional. Investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal.
Take a deep breath and visualize. It's Saturday. You just won up to $100 instant Kohl's cash just because you are one of the first 100 in-store customers. Yes, visualize you at Kohl's as a winner. Plus, you'll also save up to 50% store-wide. It's all happening this Saturday at Kohl's. No purchase necessary while supplies last on 12/6/25. 1 card per household. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. Offers end December 6th. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Kuna Food Service has been the trusted food supplier in the Midwest since 1918. For over 100 years, Kuna Food Service has been distributing the highest quality food products to some of your favorite restaurants while delivering superior customer service. When a restaurant puts their trust in Kuna Food Service, they get a team that truly cares about their success. That's why at Kuna, they like to say, they're big enough to handle it, yet small enough to care. Check them out online at cunafoodservice.com. For the past 45 years, Candici's has been offering gourmet Italian cuisine at an exceptional value, and it continues today with Candici's Catering and Express, now offering catering 7 days a week for lunch or dinner. Same great name, same great food, and now we bring it to you. Holiday parties, office parties, family gatherings, small or large. Let us serve you. Go to Candici's.net to learn more, and we will take care of the rest. That's Candici's.net. Candici's Catering and Express.
The Webster Kirkwood Times has been your hometown community newspaper for over 45 years. We believe communities deserve a trusted news source that delivers all the relevant information a community needs to be well informed. A common ground for communication, the Webster Kirkwood Times seeks to unite its readers, businesses, school districts, and local governments for the good of all. And remember, you don't need to worry about your packages arriving on time if you shop local and check out the advertisers in the Webster Kirkwood Times.
Hi, it's Frank Cusimano inviting you to join me for the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. We're going to interview some of the biggest names in sports and have our opening monologue. That's the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the Talk of St. Louis.
Meep, meep.
St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center. Let's get in to the roads. Here's Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, we are accident-free right now. On westbound 70 at the McKinley Bridge, there's a stalled tractor trailer on the shoulder. 55 North slows down at Bayless but opens up at Carondelet. And the signals are on flash at Tesson Ferry and East Concord, also at Route N and Hawk Ridge. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
A few flurries or a light dusting of snow possible into the evening. The impacts from this expected to be pretty minimal, but if you see those flakes falling, just be aware some isolated slick spots are possible. Take it easy. Temperatures get real cold after a front passes through the area. Wind chill in the single digits at times. High temperature only rising to 22 degrees. With your first alert forecast, I'm meteorologist Leah Hill for the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's talk Ted Drew's frozen custard, because you're going to go check out St. Mary's High School, and you're going to go right past Ted Drew's there on Grand. Ted Drew's has been around coming up on 100 years. Think about that. Just a small little custard stand on Grand and one on Shoto. Just a small little custard stand, but a big family with a big heart. Ted Drew's, it's a St. Louis tradition, and anybody who comes to town, what do? You take them to Ted Drew's. It is what it is. Now, with the holidays here, once again, they're at it, and they've got rows and rows and rows of fresh-cut Christmas trees straight from the farm. And so you head over there to Chippewa, and you peruse the aisles, that fresh-cut pine smell, that fresh-cut Douglas fir smell. Oh, it's fantastic. You pick out the one you like. They help you put it on top of the family truckster. Maybe you get a frozen custard along the way. Maybe pick up a wreath, and you take it home. You put it up, and you marvel at it, and you put the bad side in the back in the corner, but the good side's out front. And I'll tell you what, the kids will remember that for the rest of their lives. My most cherished moments isn't what toy I got under the tree on Christmas morning. It was going to get the Christmas tree. I don't know what it is about a fresh-cut Christmas tree, and it's right. Everybody's in a good mood going to get a fresh-cut Christmas tree, and that's what you get at Ted Drew's. Then on top of it, imagine getting a hot fudge sundae or a shake or a concrete from Ted Drew's. That's what I'm talking about. So it's now open, Ted Drew's. Don't forget about the gift shop and the Hall of Fame. It's great to see that as well. Ted Drew's on Chippewa, fresh-cut Christmas trees and wreaths. And they just, if you could bottle up that Christmas cheer over there and sell it, you make $1 billion. Ted Drew's. It's a St. Louis tradition. Ted Drew's.
Way back in time, if you had a leak in the roof of your hut, I imagine you had to find a tree close by, scale it, and then jump and hope you could get up there and see what was wrong. Then came the advent of the ladder. There was an easier way to get up there and see if something was wrong. And with modern technology, we finally get around to the drone. Now, the folks at Allen Roofing use those instead of trees and ladders. Send a drone up, find out if there's anything wrong with your roof, get some pictures, go over it with you, and see if there's a problem, how bad it is, what they could do, what it'll cost. Or if everything's just fine, they will tell you that too. Boy, it's so nice we don't have to climb trees to look at our hut. Allen Roofing, embracing technology and doing quality roof repair, siding, gutters, everything for the outside of your home. Just ask Gronk. He was one of the first customers. It's Allen Roofing. Find them online at aroofing.net.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for 20 Minutes to Fitness. What if I told you you could build real strength and bone density with just one 20-minute workout a week? At 20 Minutes to Fitness, that's exactly what happens. Using scientifically proven strength-building methods, you work one-on-one with a personal trainer who sets the equipment, watches your form, and safely takes each major muscle group to deep fatigue in just 2 to 3 minutes per machine. Then, during the rest of your week, your muscles rebuild. It's ideal if you're out of shape, recovering from injury, or worried you're just too old to start. They're staffed by health pros, managed by a physical therapist, and clients range from 18 to 101. And if you're on a GLP-1 medication, this is one of the best ways to rebuild the muscle those meds can cost you. No memberships, no crowds, just appointments, personalized training, and results. They even offer movement and mobility sessions to help with balance, mechanics, and those everyday aches and pains. If it sounds too good to be true, try it for yourself. Your first session is free. Now celebrating 24 years in Chesterfield and Clayton. 20 Minutes to Fitness. Try it yourself to see why I love it so much.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
I'm Reed Millard, president of Lupton Millard Chapel of St. Louis. We've been faithfully serving St. Louis families for generations. At Lupton Millard Chapel, we understand it's the little things that make a big difference for the families we serve. A traditional church funeral or a unique celebration of life. Providing the finest in services and attention to detail has always been the hallmark of our family.
Lupton Millard Chapel, the leader in excellence since 1905. For more information, go to luptonmillardchapel.com.
McGraw Millhaven on KTRS.
$6:51 here, Big 550 KTRS. How's this for news? They thought it was going to happen, and it turned out it did. CBS on Thanksgiving Day, which is 1 week ago today, the Chiefs-Cowboys game on Thanksgiving had 57 million people watching. It was the most watched regular season game in the history of the NFL. I don't know. That seems...
Was it a particularly...
Why? It's a good question. I guess it was a good game. The Chiefs are good. The Cowboys are kind of popular.
Post Malone was the halftime show.
Oh, well, of course, Post Malone. I think it was... it's a good question. Two good teams and Thanksgiving Day.
It was the middle of the day one.
It was the afternoon one, yeah.
Yeah.
And most people hate their family now, and so...
we get it on.
We can't talk about anything or we'll kill each other, so let's just sit here and watch the football game.
That makes sense.
Hey, did anybody see Trump? Don't get started. Don't get started. Don't. Just shut up and watch the football game. Yes, dear. And so everybody in the country couldn't talk about anything else except football. So or everybody was gambling on it.
Was
it
the only game that was on?
Yeah,
it was the only
okay.
Yeah.
The Lions game was before it, and then the Ravens
the Cowboys
game was after.
The Cowboys won it in overtime. The viewership, but here's what's interesting: the viewership was up 47% versus last year's afternoon game.
Who did Dallas play then?
Dallas played the Giants, and it shattered the previous record from 2022, which was 42 million people. That was Giants Cowboys. So you had 42 million people watch it in 2022. You had 38 million people watch it last year. And this year, 57 million people watched that game. So a good 20 million more people watched the game this year than last year. That's a lot of people. Here's what I find fascinating about all of this stuff, is that 57 million people, the country has 350 million people. So what were the other 300 million people doing?
Dog show. Dog show on NBC.
We're all not watching the dog show. Or how they have Super Bowl Sunday and everybody watches Super Bowl Sunday and everything else gets shut down. 50 million people 60 million people watch the Super Bowl. What are the other 300 million people doing?
Bringing you your chicken wings.
I mean, it's right. I mean, everybody in your country is doing something, or I shouldn't say 1/5 of them are watching something. Are you that much of a contrarian that you refuse to watch?
Well, and also, are you considering the fact that it also counts anytime it's in a bar or any type of public setting, that counts as people watching it? Meaning, so if you're at a restaurant or a whatever, and the game's on.
I don't know how they.
I'm not watching it, but I'm with 10,000. I'm with a bunch of other people. Does that count?
Yeah, I don't know how they sort of they somehow
just on in the background.
Give them credit, right? If it's at a bar, I don't know how they monitor all of that. But there's 60 million people. What are the other 300 million people doing?
And what time was this game on Thanksgiving?
It was the afternoon game, so it started at 3.
I was probably
we ate at
sleeping.
4. We ate at 4.
Getting ready to eat.
You had your tryptophan kick in right about then?
No, we haven't even eaten yet. I was prepping.
Oh, yeah. We ate at 4. So we saw the game was on. We saw the second half.
Well, and of course it's going to be the biggest because everybody's, right? Like, that's what was on. I bet you just have
Right,
that
but
game
it's
on in the
20
background
million
regardless.
It's 20 million people more this year than last year.
It's probably, a lot of it's isn't it Taylor Swift and Kelsey
Oh,
and all that?
possibly.
I mean, so much of it. It's
She
the
wasn't there.
Chiefs, right? But
I don't
doesn't
know. They
matter.
didn't-
I think it's like,
They didn't show her a whole lot, yeah.
but I mean, it's just him. It's just it's all the stuff that goes on. But
Yeah, it's the part of, no, it's the thing. I get it. But
Did the ratings for the Lions game go up too?
no, it did not. No.
Because that's the early game.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
yeah, I think forever the Chiefs are always going to bring a bigger crowd
Well, the
now.
Chiefs are no question. I don't know if they're America's team, but they sure are fun to watch, and they've got the it factor.
America's team won that day.
No, I understand that, but I mean they got the it factor. They got the Taylor Swift connection, and watching Mahomes is fun to watch, and I get it. No, I get it all. 6:57 here, Big 550 KTRS. Let's check in with Captain Paul Kopsky in the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
Well, we are accident-free right now. On westbound 70 at the McKinley Bridge, there is a stalled tractor trailer on the shoulder. 55 north slows down at Bayless, but opens up at Carondelet. 270 north is running without delays from South County into Town and Country. And the signals are on flash at Tesson Ferry and East Concord, and at Route N and Hawk Ridge. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, so we've got the December 19th. I'll be taking off because the little one has got her Christmas pageant.
Aw.
And so I will be taking off on the 19th. And since she's in kindergarten, apparently kindergartners have to recite a part of the Christmas play. And so they get up in front of the microphone and they give them a little paragraph that they have to memorize. So we were working last night on memorizing the paragraph. And she says to me, Daddy, what if I go up to the microphone at the Mass and start talking about the number 2 crew? So that would not be good. She goes, the number 2 crew. The number 2 crew, pick up your dog's business with the number 2 crew. I'm like, oh my goodness, if you start talking about the number 2 crew at the Christmas pageant in kindergarten, oh my goodness. She gets this little grin on her face like, try me, just try me. So I can talk about the number 2 crew now because apparently Emerson's going to give a commercial. Emerson's going to be their spokesman here in a couple of weeks. The number 2 crew, the guys who brought to you the Watering Bowl. The Watering Bowl was a great doggy daycare place to bring your dog. It was wonderful, wonderfully managed, great reputation. Those guys have now started a new company called the number 2 crew, and it is what it says it is. The number 2 crew. They come out to your house and they pick up your dog's business. It's all about customer service. They text you when they're coming. They send you a picture. They text you when they're leaving. Very, very inexpensive. Weekly rates. They come out once a week. No long-term commitments. No different cost regardless of the size of your dog, regardless of the size of your yard. It's one size fits all at the number 2 crew. St. Louis City, St. Louis County, St. Charles County. They're finding out that this is great for people who, they need their dogs, but they've got some mobility issues. They're picking up some corporate clients, whether it's apartment complexes or some subdivisions. The number 2 parks, recreation, things like that, right? The number 2 crew is a great way to take care of your dog's business and make sure everyone is clean and ready for the next time. So if you are interested or curious, 314-717-8880, 314-717-8880, or No2Crew, N-O-2, the number 2, No2Crew.com. 7 o'clock, KTRS St. Louis.
Football. The rushing touchdown, and Missouri extends the lead.
KTRS AM, FM 106.1, K291CW St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm
Sherry Preston. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth again in the spotlight is Admiral Mitch Bradley, the man Hegseth says ordered a second strike on a suspected drug boat that killed survivors off the coast of Venezuela in September, visits Capitol Hill. Admiral Bradley will be testifying behind closed doors and, says ABC Chief Global Affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz,
lawmakers will have more questions for Hegseth after a new Pentagon watchdog report concluded he risked endangering U.S. troops when he relayed sensitive information about military strikes in Yemen over the commercial messaging app Signal back in March. Sources tell ABC News the Defense Department's Inspector General says Hegseth shared information classified by U.S. Central Command on the app with colleagues and even his wife.
ICE agents descending on Minneapolis and New Orleans in the latest roundup of immigrants. A CDC advisory committee is set to meet today to discuss whether to change the recommendation that newborns receive the hepatitis B vaccine at birth. Health Secretary Robert Kennedy has questioned its effectiveness. ABC's Andrea Fujii.
It's estimated that more than 2 million people in the U.S. have hepatitis B and half don't know they're infected. But one of the CDC committee members has argued unless the mother has hepatitis B, newborns don't need to be vaccinated right away. Other experts disagree.
One of those experts is Dr. Sherry Cohen with the Hepatitis B Foundation.
What I can see from my perspective is there's no new safety data, that there's no necessarily scientific evidence for changing this.
How cold is it out there? Pretty dang cold, says ABC's Alex Perez.
An Arctic blast taking aim at millions from the Midwest to the East Coast. Several cities preparing for record lows from the bone-chilling cold after that powerful nor'easter turned roads to ice rinks all over the Northeast.
You're listening to ABC News.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Mom, what do you always say? There's nothing sadder than jewelry that sits in a drawer.
That's why we are proud to offer jewelry repair on site at Newssetter's Fine Jewelry. We know that your jewelry is important to you, and we take that part of our job very seriously. Visit us at Doherty Ferry in Big Bend or learn more at wowdiamonds.com.
Tune in Mondays to the Frank and Jill Show for Success St. Louis Style as they feature a St. Louis and making a difference in our community. Brought to you by the St. Louis Chess Club.
Building champions in the classroom and the community. Online at stlouischessclub.org.
70 degrees at 7:03. Here's what's happening now. A firefighter is recovering after a roof collapsed on him while battling a fire in South St. Louis. Firefighters were called to a burning vacant building along the 2600 block of Ohio at around 3 this morning. The firefighter became trapped when the roof collapsed. His fellow firefighters were able to locate him and pull him to safety. He suffered minor injuries but did not need to be transported to a hospital. Another firefighter twisted his ankle. The cause of the fire is being investigated. There's a plan to overhaul the Dome at America Center. Yesterday, the board that owns the Dome approved a plan to overhaul its operations and new funding from local and state taxes. Meanwhile, St. Louis County Executive Sam Page is raising concerns to part of the board's plan, asking state lawmakers to direct more of St. Louis County's hotel tax money for the Dome. Page said the county needs some of the tax, which is expected to raise nearly $15 million next year for youth sports. Millions of dollars in new federal funding has been approved to help accelerate cleanup efforts in Coldwater Creek. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers St. Louis District has received an additional $40.5 million for remediation work at Coldwater Creek. The funding follows prolonged concerns about public safety in Coldwater Creek, a 19-mile tributary of the Missouri River that runs through neighborhoods, schools, and parks. The Missouri Attorney General is warning consumers to be cautious of holiday scams. KTRS's Sobe Bay reports.
Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway is warning about several types of scams, including fake delivery notifications. She also warns that criminals may create fake charities or social media fundraisers to exploit holiday generosity. Fraudulent online shops may advertise steep discounts, but ship counterfeit items or nothing at all after taking payment. Scammers also may place fake QR codes on event signs or parking meters, redirecting consumers to malicious sites. Fake airline and hotel websites may imitate real booking platforms to capture personal information. Some scammers even use letters from Santa to steal personal information for identity theft. And while shopping online, Hanaway recommends using a credit card as it provides stronger fraud protection than other payment methods. Sobe Bay, KTRS News.
This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, a place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. 20 degrees. Time now is 7:05. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
All right. This hour, Karen Travers is going to join us at the bottom of the hour. More fallout from this Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense situation. He wasn't in the room. He was in the room. Are they going to release the video? We don't know if we've got it. But if they will, we got it, we'll release it. So the White House just cannot get out from under this story. Karen Travers has the latest. Brett Garrett's going to join us at 7:50 to talk about the National Guard shooter, the one in D.C. What kind of terrorist was he? It's so, especially today with everything so hyper partisan and hyper political. If it were a young white male, right, it would be, we would have one point of view. If he were a, yelling Allah Akbar, which apparently he was, or right. If he's from Afghanistan, then it's another point of view. And so in this situation, what does it mean? And where do we go from here? Brett Garrett's got all of that coming up here at 7:50. Antonio French next hour. Frank Cusimano is going to talk a little sports. And then we'll get a look with Mid-America Transplant, who is one of the great charities here in town. The doctor who sold Matthew Perry the drugs was sentenced to 30 months in prison. This is the guy who was quoted as saying, let's see how much we can charge Matthew Perry. Let's see what an idiot he is and see how much he'll pay for the ketamine. And so this guy's going to jail. Good for him. And then, of course, we come across this Olivia Nunzi story. You know this story? This is such a bizarre story.
It is many levels of weird.
So weird.
Okay, what is it?
Olivia Nunzi was a journalist. She wrote for The New Yorker. And she was attractive and a TV personality, if you will. And she was a talking head. And she would go on predominantly, I guess, CNN and MSNBC as an anti-Trump basher. As a quick overview of who she was. And then The New Yorker sends her to go do a profile on RFK Jr. And while interviewing RFK Jr., apparently strikes up a friendship with RFK Jr.
Is that what you want to call it?
And then proceeds to have a inappropriate texting relationship with RFK Jr., who just happens to be married to Cheryl Hines, who is the actress who played Larry David's wife on the TV show Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Cheryl,
right. So she has this torrid texting affair with a married man. During the campaign, it comes out that she's having this torrid texting affair with candidate RFK Jr. Her fiance says, I'm out of here. This is nuts. You're Looney Tunes. She doesn't say anything. Apparently, the relationship ends. Cheryl Hines doesn't say anything. They stay together. He drops out of the race. Trump wins. Trump makes him the head of Secretary of Health and Human Services. Okay, so now he's in the role for about a year now. And she writes a book about the whole thing. And the book is called American Canto. And it's what a bizarre name for a book. And Canto is like the best way to describe it, because I thought it, and then I looked it up. It's almost like a stanza for a poem. It's like a paragraph in a poem, and they call it a canto.
C-A-N-T-O?
C-A-N-T-O, canto. So her book is called American Canto. Like, this is an American poem?
A song.
Song or something? So it's very, very
Canto is song
odd.
in Spanish.
Okay, so anyway. So now the book is out. And in this book, she reveals that he has a violent temper. He's doing drugs. What drugs is he doing? I don't want to say. And lying to his wife that he's still doing drugs, even though he tells everyone that he's not. And this guy is the Secretary of Health and Human Services. And it's like not even like a story.
Or a scandal.
Or anything. I mean, I don't know. This one's bizarre. The husband still talk. The husband's the ex-fiance is talking up a storm in this whole thing. All talk of trash about her and everything else. And what a bizarre story this is. So the book just comes out, and now she's making the PR rounds. And apparently 3 people and a stray dog have bought the book so far. So it's not selling very well. And she's done a couple of interviews where it left the interviewer scratching their head like, what? Don't mention the guy's doing drugs if you're not going to tell us the story, right? And then, of course, you have this, the wife is out there. I'd like to be Cheryl Hines in this story, where this woman who had a texting affair with your husband, who was trying to tell everybody that don't get your flu shot because everyone's going to get autism, while he's doing drugs, but telling people he's not doing drugs while having a texting affair. What a 3-ring circus this thing is.
Marriages these days seem more like business arrangements anyway, so you know what I mean? That's not super surprising.
I don't know what you call this one, but this one is Bizarro World. And I don't know. It hasn't even risen to a level of like, did you hear this one?
Well, because this is going on all the time. We're inundated with scandal and ridiculousness every day. So just add it to the list. Put it in the bin of all the others.
I mean, this would be hilarious if it were an MTV reality show, but it's the head of Health and Human Services.
It's the same as him taking his grandkids to Coldwater Creek or whatever, right? Like to take him to a place to swim in a...
Yeah, that was the other thing where she's like his official PR company. She was the one apparently telling him, hey, you know what, this whole thing about the worms eating your brain, why don't you get out in front of this one? So she was his unofficial PR person, while she's having an affair, while she's writing a story about him for The New Yorker, while she's on MSNBC bashing Trump. What a bizarre world. Olivia Nunzi. Whoa, this one. Now, by the way, you know what she's doing now? She's now the West Coast editor of Vogue.
Fantastic.
Which, how do you go from...
Is she a snappy dresser?
You know, she's attractive. I mean, I wouldn't say that she's attractive. She's an attractive woman.
I meant like a snappy dresser is in Vogue, you know,
yeah,
like she dresses.
I've seen a couple pictures of her in like leopard prints. So I don't know if like leopard prints is in or out or whatever, but there you go. Here's your story of Olivia Nunzi and her book, American Canto. I don't even know if they offered me up to her, I'd take her for an interview because it's just so bizarre.
She's not saying anything.
Where do you start?
Well, what drove you to write this semi-autobiography or whatever? Or
to make some money.
I mean, right? It's
yeah.
Pretty...
I don't know. Crazy stuff. 7:15 here, Big 550 KTRS. Let's see here. 3 Bay Barbecue and Bakery is at Woods Mill and Clayton Road inside the West County Phillips 66 gas station. Let me say that again. 3 Bay Barbecue and Bakery for 10 years has been selling barbecue out of a gas station. Yeah, and you don't survive unless you're really good. Look, the Smash Burger Taco is off the charts. I dream about the Smash Burger Taco. I don't know what it is about the Smash Burger Taco, but it's fantastic. I told them they're never allowed to take it off the menu. They got the ribs, they got the pulled pork, they got all the staples, and more importantly, they have got an audience. For 10 years, people have been driving across town to go to Three Bay Barbecue and Bakery in the back of a gas station. Dine in, carry out, catering. Just make sure you bring a friend and bring your appetite because it is good barbecue. And you don't last for 10 plus years in a gas station unless you're doing it right. So Three Bay Barbecue and Bakery. It's a good week to head over there. The weather's a little chilly. We've had enough turkey for a couple of days. Three Bay Barbecue and Bakery or 3baybarbecueandbakery.com. Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, there's a stalled truck and another vehicle on the right shoulder of 55 North at Weber. On westbound 70 at the McKinley Bridge, we have 2 stalled tractor trailers on the shoulder. 270 North is running without delays from South County into Town and Country. Drive time from 270 and Tesson Ferry to Manchester is just 9 minutes. And the signals are on flash at Tesson Ferry and East Concord, also at Route N and Hawk Ridge. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
A few flurries or a light dusting of snow possible into the evening. The impacts from this expected to be pretty minimal, but if you see those flakes falling, just be aware some isolated slick spots are possible. Take it easy. Temperatures get real cold after a front passes through the area. Wind chill in the single digits at times. High temperature only rising to 22 degrees. With your first alert forecast, I'm meteorologist Leah Hill for the Big 550 KTRS.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers. Oh, they're here. Hey, who needs something to drink?
we've been overindulging a little more than usual. Thank goodness we both added active liver to our diets to give our livers some much-needed support so we have the energy we need to enjoy the holidays.
Active Liver from New Nordic contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract designed to give your liver maximum protection and help it do vital jobs like removing toxins from alcohol, rich foods, and sweets.
Try Active Liver today and enjoy all the holiday treats with the peace of mind of knowing you're giving your liver some relief.
Find Active Liver online at Amazon, Vitacost.com, or iHerb.com. Or pick it up today at CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite. Enjoy life to the fullest with Active Liver.
Most people think if I name my husband as beneficiary, everything's going to be okay, and that's not necessarily true.
I'm Scott Garcia with Premier Estate and Income Planning.
What am I doing taking care of people after somebody has passed and all the mess that comes with that?
And I'm Jennifer Cermak, Chief Counsel and Estate Planning Attorney of Premier Estate and Income Planning.
No longer is the attorney the gatekeeper to your lives.
Let us show you how to protect your assets, avoid probate, and retire with confidence.
Having an estate plan could be the most important document you could ever have.
The Premier Income and Estate Planning Show. This Saturday at 4 and this Sunday morning at 7 on the Big 550 KTRS.
Time to play word association. Are you ready?
Yep.
C.R. Frank popcorn.
Oh, gourmet popcorn, tins made to order, caramel corn made with real butter, hand-packed and guaranteed fresh.
Good. Now try while eating some C.R. Frank popcorn.
Is this a Chicago style?
Yes, a sweet and salty blend of caramel and cheese.
And their popcorn tins are unique.
Oh, my turn for the popcorn. C.R. Frank popcorn.
Fun Foods popcorn machines for home theaters.
C.R. Frank popcorn.
5757 North Lindbergh and Hazelwood. Go to crfrankpopcorn.com.
The gift of good taste.
Let's talk about a getaway where you're not spending all the time on the road. How about Innsbruck? Think about it. You could go from your desk to a canoe and do some fishing in about 25-30 minutes. They've got A-frames, they got tree houses, or if you're looking for a place to live that's away from hustle and bustle, custom homes and condos as well. It is absolutely gorgeous. Have you been out? Have you looked? Go to Innsbruck-resort.com to find your getaway.
Experience all the magic of the holiday season at the Marketplace on the Hill. Shop local at the Hill Antique Market, and you'll help support more than 75 local vendors. Enjoy a delicious lunch at Oliva and unwind there during their now famous Wine Down Wednesdays. Consider renting the beautiful La Verona event space for your next party or corporate outing. It all happens at the Marketplace on the Hill at 4923 Jagged. Online at cateringstlouis.com.
When you pay for tree work, you want to be sure you're getting the most for your hard-earned money. That's why you should always use the ISA certified arborist at River City Tree Service in Baldwin, Missouri. Hi, I'm Steve with River City Tree Service, and we've been the go-to tree service since 2008. Tree removal, tree trimming, storm damage, deadwood removal, stump grinding, and more. Give River City Tree Service a call for all your tree service needs at 314-270-8071. That's 314-270-8071. River City Tree Service.
A stiff chair makes you sit. An X chair lets you float. Upgrade to an X chair, engineered for better posture and focus. The secret? Patented lumbar support that adjusts instantly. SciFloat Infinite Recline that moves effortlessly with you. X chair is next level ergonomic seating that truly floats. Right now, you can save up to 50% with the X Chair holiday sale. Supplies are limited, so visit xchair.com today for up to 50% off. That's xchair.com.
This holiday season, I feel like Manchester Road, just west of 141, is just one of the fantastic spots in St. Louis you need to be. Marketplace at the Abbey has everything to make your home feel like Santa's workshop. All kinds of wonderful gifts for people. Also, there's the Abbey Baby and then the Abbey's ladies' clothing section. So many gift ideas, so many wonderful things that have already been curated by Laura Wilson, the owner. You can always go online too, marketplaceattheabbey.com.
McGraw, live in the morning on KTRX.
Well, listen, I'm almost hesitant to bring this story up, but this one is, like so many other stories today, a head-scratcher. Have you ever heard of the Free Birth Society?
No.
The Free Birth Society, believe it or not, there was a show back on, a couple years ago, where it was Birth in the Wild. And it was a show where families boasted about having babies off the grid.
Ooh. Not even a midwife or anything like
No. Hundreds of miles away from the nearest anything. And it was called Birth in the Wild. It was on Lifetime.
Oh.
Well, believe it or not, Free Birth Society is a thing.
But wait, though, doesn't that defeat the purpose if there's a camera crew filming you as you're giving birth off? Aren't you not off the grid anymore? If you're, come on.
Off the grid, but we have battery packs. Right. We can film us not being on the grid. They say it's impossible to know how many families have been influenced by the Free Birth Society. It was founded in 2017, and it advises followers to go under the radar. The organization has a podcast that has been downloaded more than 5 million times. That means downloaded. That doesn't mean listened to. It's been downloaded more than 5 million times. The YouTube channel has almost 25 million views. That means that it's been viewed at least 1/100th of a second. The Free Birth Society has a bunch of paying customers, too. According to reports, they've generated over $13 million since 2018. They don't know how many people, but the society preaches a radical responsibility in terms of the free birth movement. The mother assumes complete responsibility for all the outcomes of her birth, including her own death or that of the child. No one comes to save her, nor does she want anyone. She is fully autonomous. No drugs, no nothing. That's old school.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's the way women have been doing it since the dawn of time.
That is crazy. There's a reason why we don't do it anymore. But yeah.
There's something to be said for just the complete naturalness of it.
Okay, sure. I understand.
To a point.
To a point. You certainly look. I'm not. I guess that you do have a constitutional right to not go seek medical help when you're having your baby. I certainly don't want to tell people what to do. But I personally don't understand why you would risk the health of you or the baby by doing it by yourself. There is all sorts of problems when the woman is left to her own devices in the wild. That's why I know there's natural ways to give birth, and they set up these, rooms with the lighting, and women have birth in the bathtub, and all that stuff. I get it, but no level of checking to make sure or making sure the baby's healthy or everything works. I mean, nothing. You have all this medical advantage to make sure you're safe and the baby's safe, and nothing. You reject it all?
Are these clubs is it religious based or anything? Is there a belief system kind of involved?
I don't know. It's a good question. Is it more liberal and more conservative? Yeah. I don't know in this day and age.
What's the religion that doesn't want medical intervention? Like the
Christian Scientist.
Is it Christian Scientist or something of the like? Yeah. Is it something similar?
And I even get midwives, right? I mean, a midwife has at least some type of experience in the thing. Yeah. Yeah. And I get you want it at home, you want it to be natural. Even a midwife has some expertise.
And if there's a problem, the midwife is trained to take you to a hospital.
Holy mackerel. The free birth movement, alive and well in the United States of America. I don't necessarily think I want to pass a law that says you can't do it. I just scratch my head and say, why would you?
What's the point?
What's the point? I mean, what's the point? I mean,
I don't know. It could be the ultimate. I know it's weird, but just doing it completely natural and seeing it. Like if some woman is that child, that
I understand.
She
I understand not having drugs and then doing it natural, but doing it natural on a pile of leaves in the middle of a state park.
That's the way
I know.
God
like I
wanted
said,
it.
the way people have been doing it. The women have been doing it that way.
I understand, but if you break your arm, if you break your arm,
I know. I mean, it's obviously a personal preference. You can't get in the heads of everybody of why they want to do the things that they want to do.
I get it,
and that is odd. I get but it's not as. I mean, people do a lot of crazy things all the time.
Yes, they do.
Really not that insane.
But how come when you break your arm, there isn't a movement like a free fix your arm movement where
there's some people that will just go to YouTube and have their friend pull it back in, and duct tape it.
Okay, but that's not really fixing your arm though. But that's you didn't have duct tape back in the day. So how come there's not a movement where when you break your arm, don't go to the hospital?
Maybe there is.
No, there's not. Maybe there is. I haven't heard of it.
Look at you, so quick to be like, no, there's not.
No,
maybe there is.
Maybe
no,
there is.
Maybe.
I'm sure there is somewhere. The don't go to the hospital when you break your arm society.
It's the free break society.
Google it right now, and there's 4 members.
But people would tend to go to the hospital even if you're against medical treatment to get your arm fixed. But when it comes to a baby, oh no, I can't have no.
Well, too, like I said, you're having you don't go to that. You go to the hospital because you're sick. You don't, you're having a baby. You're not sick. You know what I'm saying? I get it, but people associate you go to the hospital to have a baby. Well, you're not sick. You're having a baby. So I think the idea of having a baby outside of a hospital isn't that crazy.
Medical procedure?
I'm not.
No, having a baby.
No.
It's
Hold on a second. Having a baby outside of a traditional hospital, I get. Mm-hmm. A birthing center, a midwife center, your own house. I don't get having a baby on a pile of leaves in the middle of the forest. That's what I don't. If you're going to criticize me, make sure you understand what I'm saying. Not you, per se, but
you.
Out there. The collective you.
And
so if you're going to criticize me, make sure you're criticizing me correctly.
Newspaper is still considered if you're
Okay,
Boil some water.
we're done.
Newspaper what?
Do you remember when I said I was
Nobody has
hesitant to bring up the
newspaper.
topic?
Well, you did.
Yes, I did.
And
I failed. 7:30, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Good morning, Captain Paul.
Good morning, McGraw. We have a few stalled vehicles out there. There's one on 70 East at Pierce in Wentzville. A stalled truck and another vehicle are on the right shoulder of 55 North at Weber. On westbound 70 near the McKinley Bridge, we have a stalled tractor trailer on the shoulder. There's a slowdown on 94 East approaching 64. 270 North is heavy and a bit slow from north of 44 to Doherty Ferry. And the signals are on flash at Tesson Ferry and East Concord, also at Route N and Hawk Ridge. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Weather for the next couple of days. Temperatures today are going to reach 26. It's going to be cold. Some sun in the morning. Clouds as we head home in the afternoon. No rain in the forecast. High of 26 today. Overnight tonight, low of 15. Tomorrow, we've got a high of 41. Saturday and Sunday, we're upper 30s. Maybe some rain and snow showers come Sunday. But again, too early to make a call on all of that. 17 right now at 7:31. Let's go back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
A high-stakes hearing in the New York murder case against Luigi Mangione continues today, a year to the day after prosecutors say he gunned down United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Mangione has pleaded not guilty to both state and federal charges. The Navy admiral who reportedly issued orders to fire upon survivors of an attack on an alleged drug boat is set to brief Congress. Lawmakers overseeing national security are expected to receive a classified briefing today from Admiral Frank Bradley about the boat strike. In local headlines, Governor J.B. Pritzker and the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity announced an additional $10 million in funding for the Job Training and Economic Development Program. It will be used for workforce training and wraparound services aimed at bolstering equitable workforce recovery for Illinoisans struggling to gain meaningful employment. And the iconic St. Louis-built Super Hornet is celebrating its 30th anniversary. To mark the milestone, it's on display at the National Museum of Transportation. 19 degrees. Time now is 7:32. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Next generation is looking to us to teach them about financial literacy. And how do you go about doing that? Well, one great way is to open up a smart account with Neighbors Credit Union. They're called smart accounts because it's smart. The first $1,000 in this account is subject to 10% APY. Not even Santa can do that. What does that mean? That means the money grows faster. The child watches the money grow faster. You're teaching them that, wait a minute, if you buy another stuffy, guess what? I don't have the money in the bank. I can't earn interest on it. What's interest? Well, you let them use your money, you get more money. Whoa, that's a whole concept to somebody. Look, as they get older, as the money starts to grow, again, they build a little nest egg. They're learning the value of the money and the value of saving money. Neighbors Credit Union. You can open up an account for anybody up to the age of 22. So it doesn't have to be an infant, right? The earlier, the better. But a nice teenager learning about the value of a dollar is a great way and goes a long way into teaching them that will give them money skills for the rest of their lives. 8 area locations, neighborscu.org, neighborscu.org.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
KTRS and the U.S. Marines are playing Santa for the 2025 Big 550 Toy Drive. Light up the life of a child by dropping off your new Unwrapped Toys for Tots donation at the KTRS Studios in Westport Plaza Friday, December 12th from 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. as we broadcast live all day from the KTRS Toy Drive headquarters.
I hope you get lots of presents.
The Big 550 KTRS Toy Drive is brought to you by Outdoor Living, Legacy Wealth, Boardwalk Hardwood Floors, Spectrum Eyeglass Repair, and the Big 550 KTRS.
Christmas is here again. Ho, 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 ho.
Yenzer Family Dental has been located in Chesterfield for over 2 decades at the corner of Chesterfield Airport and Long Road in the Chesterfield Valley. Dr. Yenzer has been treating patients for the past 21 years and now welcomes Dr. Andrea Monstero to Yenzer Family Dental. Both doctors, along with the amazing staff, are dedicated to your care and oral health. The entire staff is committed to making your dental care and treatment a safe and successful experience. From the moment you walk in the door, you are treated and welcomed by a friendly and knowledgeable staff and receive care with some of the most advanced dental technology available today. Our goal is to add peace of mind to the friendliness and clinical excellence you can expect from Yenzer Family Dental. Give them a call today at 636-778-3019. They would love to see you soon and will never underestimate the power of a smile. Yenzer Family Dental, 636-778-3019 or yenzerdental.com.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
7:35 here, Big 550 KTRS. This story in the age of 15-minute news cycles is sticking around. The latest, Karen Travers joins us, White House correspondent. Now the question is whether or not they're going to release the second strike on that boat. What do we know, Karen Travers?
Yeah, the president said yesterday that the Pentagon would release whatever they have, as he put it. He said, I don't know what they have, but whatever they have, we'd certainly release, no problem. I think the question now is, does he compel the Pentagon, the Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, to release it, or is that the end of it with the president's comments yesterday? There are lawmakers who are clamoring for it, of course. You know, they want to see that second strike, to see what the military commanders were seeing in real time. The president, though, yesterday was pushed on accountability, you know, beyond just releasing the video. But would there be any consequences for the people that ordered the second strike if it's found out that survivors were killed while clinging to the boat? The president didn't say that. He did not commit to that. And he was asked point blank, do you support the decision to kill survivors after the initial strike? And he said, no, I support the decision to knock out the boats.
Yeah. Now, he also floated the idea that some military operations are going to start soon in Venezuela.
Yeah, you know, he said this yesterday. He said this last week. He had said it the week before. He keeps saying it. And I think the question is, what has he decided, if anything? We know he met with his national security team on Monday to discuss this issue, but also other issues. There are 15,000 U.S. forces in the region. There's the largest aircraft carrier that's down there. So there certainly is a show of force by the administration, but it's not clear if the president is actually going to do something. He keeps saying that there could be a land operation very soon, but he says, I want to take out the boats, but if I have to do it on land, I would.
Interesting. Now, we also know that Admiral Bradley is going to testify in front of Congress today. Are we ever going to find out what happens in there?
Well, it's classified. It's behind closed doors. So we'll see. I mean, I don't think Bradley's going to come out and take questions from reporters. Military people don't usually do that, especially after a classified briefing. But we'll see if lawmakers can come out and characterize in any way what they just heard. They often find ways to do that. So we'll see if there are questions that can be answered. But, you know, we kind of know what he's going to tell them. Sources had told us yesterday that that day of the second strike, the military believed that those survivors were potentially in communication with other boats in the vicinity and that they were salvaging some of the drugs that had been in the cargo, the boat's cargo, and that because of those actions, they were determined to still be in the fight and thus valid targets.
Yeah.
So that's likely what Bradley's going to say to them today.
You mentioned this, that the story's been changing from the White House, and the criticism, Democrats criticizing, not that big of a news stories, but there are a number of growing Republicans who are very critical of the White House over this whole story.
They are. And it's an accountability question. You know, lawmakers don't like when they're not included in things. And, you know, the president saying yesterday, this is war. Well, you had lawmakers say, well, there hasn't been an authorization of war by Congress. They want to be involved. And when they're not involved, then they want more transparency to lawmakers about what's actually happening.
Yeah. And then, of course, you've got this Venezuela military ideas, but there's no congressional approval for that either, though.
Exactly. And this is all kind of part and parcel. You know, you've got this Operation Southern Spear that's happening in the Caribbean against these drug boats, plus the potential looming action against Venezuela, which is also not something they've gone to Congress about, and the president declaring this is war. Well, you know, Congress says, hold up, we need to be involved here.
Stay tuned. Karen Travers, good stuff. Thanks for checking in, as always.
Have a great day. Thanks.
You got it. 7:40 here, Big 550 KTRS. Let's talk Altair Travel and Cruises. We had Ward on Wine on the show the other day. He was talking about this Danube cruise it was taking. That sounded like a whole lot of fun. It's going to be next July, so if you're interested or curious, you can always head over to Altair Travel and Cruises. Now, look, I've used Altair Travel for, 10, 12, 15 years now. We've taken, can't tell you how many trips with KTRS listeners and family members and everything else. It's easier and better when you use Altair Travel and Cruises. You can go on your own and try and book all of these tours, but it's the extra benefits. It's the extra special excursions. It's the, right, Mike Ward was talking about how he's got these special events set up along the way. That just adds to all of the enjoyment of the trip because you're part of a group and you're being taken care of. And quite frankly, who doesn't like being taken care of, right? Who doesn't like to be part of the VIP group? That's what you get when you use a quality travel agent like Altair Travel and Cruises. So if you're headed to the Danube with Mike Ward, maybe you're headed to Alaska, maybe the Caribbean, maybe Europe, who knows? The point is this. It all starts at Altair Travel. Right next to Obie Clark's in the Milton building, that retro 60s mid-century modern building. Looks super cool. 314-968-9600 or altairtravel.com.
Join us for a nostalgic evening of love, joy, and timeless music as Rain, a Beatles Christmas tribute, brings the spirit of the season to life. Enjoy holiday favorites and legendary Beatles hits in a festive celebration made for families, friends, and fans of all ages. Come together and share the peace of the season with Rain, a Beatles Christmas tribute.
At the Fabulous Fox on December 11th. Tickets at fabulousfox.com.
Hey, the number 2 crew reporting for duty.
Number 2 crew. Let's get in that yard and clean up that doggy doo.
The number 2 crew will visit your yard once a week in the St. Louis area, and they'll take care of your dog's business. Think of them as your yard's best friend.
We are the number 2 crew. We do poo, you do you.
Customers can sign up through their website and utilize their customer portal for any sort of changes or updates. The number2crew.com or 314-717-8880.
We pick up what your dog left behind.
The number2crew.com.
Ronald Reagan once famously said, "Government is not the solution, government is the problem." When it comes to economic growth, government can be a roadblock. With red tape, regulations, and subsidies, government stifles entrepreneurship and also props up businesses that deserve to go under. Unlike government, free markets encourage risk-taking, freedom to succeed or fail. Governments shouldn't be picking winners and losers, the market should. Free markets benefit the business owner and the customer by encouraging competition. Free Market enabled a young man named J.C. Hall selling picture postcards in Kansas City to turn his idea into Hallmark cards. In St. Louis, the Free Market made it possible for Adolphus Busch to turn his father-in-law's local beer into the world's largest brewery. A free market also means you get to send your kids to the school of your choice. Learn more about free markets at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers, advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Lance Story Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Lance Story Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems, call me, Lance Drury in St. Louis at 314-260-6120 or visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
It's time to start pulling the sweaters and pullovers out of the closet. But wait, the Blues have rebranded and we've got something new for you to add to your winter wardrobe. On December 9th, when the Blues face off against the Bruins at Enterprise Center, the first 10,000 fans will score a cozy quilted quarter zip thanks to Pepsi Zero Sugar. This gray pullover features a stitched blue note on the front and the new STL mark on the back, so you can rep your team and your city all winter long. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at stlouisblues.com/tickets.
St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Here once again is Captain Paul.
McGraw, a police car has joined a stalled truck and another vehicle on the right shoulder of 55 North at Carondelet. That's causing a bumper-to-bumper jam on 55 North at Bayless. On westbound 70 near the McKinley Bridge, we have a stalled tractor trailer on the shoulder. There's a slowdown on 94 East approaching 64. 270 North is heavy from Doherty Ferry to Manchester. And the signals are on flash at Tesson Ferry and East Concord, also at Route N and Hawk Ridge. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. Dents Express, STL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
A few flurries or a light dusting of snow possible into the evening. The impacts from this expected to be pretty minimal, but if you see those flakes falling, just be aware some isolated slick spots are possible. Take it easy. Temperatures get real cold after a front passes through the area. Wind chill in the single digits at times. High temperature only rising to 22 degrees. With your first alert forecast, I'm meteorologist Leah Hill for the Big 550 KTRS.
The 12 Days of Christmas, backed by popular demand here at the Big 550 KTRS. The Big 550 celebrates the 12 Days of Christmas by giving the gifts to you each weekday during the event. Go to KTRS.com and the 12 Days of Christmas slider on the website. Click to register for the daily prize, which changes each weekday at midnight. 12 days, 12 prizes. You have to go each day. Heidi and Josh will announce the winner the next day. It's that simple. Be sure to register for today's prize. You have from now until the midnight tonight to register for today's prize. It's a $250 gift certificate to Guido's Pizzeria and Tapas. Guido's Pizzeria and Tapas, a $250 gift card. That is a nice chunk of change to Guido's. All right, so register to win at KTRS.com and click the 12 Days of Christmas slider and register for a chance to win $250 from Guido's Pizzeria and Tapas, all part of the 12 Days of Christmas right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. St. Louis winters don't mess around, and neither should you. When those freezing temps hit, the last thing you want to do is discover your furnace isn't up to the job. That's why now is the perfect time to call Premier Heating and Cooling. Their certified technicians will give your system a full checkup, making sure it's safe, efficient, and ready to keep your family warm all season long. Think of it like an oil change for your car. A little preventative care now saves you from big, expensive breakdowns later. Plus, a tuned-up system runs more efficiently, which means lower energy bills when the cold really sets in. So don't wait until you're shivering under 3 blankets. Schedule your heating inspection today with Premier Heating and Cooling. Excellent rating with the Better Business Bureau. So many of their new customers are referred by happy customers like me. PremierHeatingCooling.net, 636-916-1122.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flex Steel and Smith Brothers. We carry top quality mattresses from world famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
What goes great with Mizzou Tigers football? Well, Dogtown Pizza, of course. And with 12 different flavors to choose from, you can have a different pizza every game.
Pepperoni peppercini, hot chicken, the SOB sausage onion bacon, and the newest addition to the lineup, meatball mozzarella.
Forget the pumpkin spice. The best fall flavor is football and pizza. MIZDOG. Dogtown Pizza and dogtownpizza.com. Dogtown Pizza, and check out all 12 flavors online at dogtownpizza.com.
McGraw Millhaven on KTRS.
These active shooters and shooting stories come fast, come furious, and we talk about it. And is there anything to be done to help solve the problem? Looking into the issue of this National Guard shooter. Brad Garrett, ABC News crime and terrorism analyst. What's interesting about this National Guard shooter is that he worked with the U.S. military for years. I mean, how much more vetting can you get? He was brought into the country as part of this, I guess, amnesty program for working with our military, vetted by the Trump administration. I can't imagine it wasn't anything but a great vet. And then once in the country, becomes radicalized, if you will, or has some mental health issues. So what do you make of this story?
So I think, first of all, we don't know their definition, McGraw, of vetting. I guarantee you it wouldn't fit my definition of vetting. And the reason is, and this isn't being critical of them at all, is that, yes, did he get vetted on the front end? Obviously, he helped the U.S. and the CIA, the military, et cetera, tracking down Taliban fighters in Afghanistan during the war. So clearly you needed to get him out of there. He would have been sent to a military base, one of ours, but not to the U.S. initially. It gets vetted again. I don't know what that entails. But eventually, then in 2021, in the fall, he comes to the U.S., settles in the Northwest. And then I think at some point things go off the rails. And why I say that is that, according to the AP in reporting, that someone came forward, I'm going to assume out of the Afghan community, telling a refugee nonprofit that works with folks who come in from out of other countries, that this guy was basically staying in his bedroom, cut off communications between his wife and his 5 kids. He or she thought that he was potentially suicidal. He would go on long cross-country drives, which obviously is alleged in this case. Now, everything I just mentioned is not against the law. That's weird, bizarre, dysfunctional, and he needs help, but it's not against the law. Did any of what I just said get passed to law enforcement? I'm going to guess the answer is no. Now, did it ever get past the people at Customs, Immigration, et cetera, the folks who process folks like this guy? I don't know the answer to that. But are they really even equipped with that kind of information to do anything with it? Because vetting for me would be like when I was a probation and parole officer or an FBI agent, is that I believe in face-to-face stuff as much as you can do it.
Yeah.
As big a pain as that could be, that's how your uniformed officers, for example, in St. Louis, pick up information. It's informal, and you can read people, a sense of people. You would only have to go visit this guy a couple times in the last year or two and go, this guy's off the rails behaviorally, mentally. He needs help. Somebody needs to keep better track of him and get him into programs. Now, could that have stopped the shooting? Who knows? But it certainly would have been an intervention that may possibly have turned him around or at least kept better track of him so he wouldn't just all of a sudden show up out of nowhere in D.C. and sadly shoot 2 National Guard folks.
All of that I'll give you. And the minute he is vetted and approved and is allowed to roam around the country, right, at whatever point, he then could become radicalized. And he comes into the country and he becomes radicalized here. So, I mean, once you're approved to come in, you can be radicalized just like everybody else. So how do you stop? It's the question isn't who you're letting in. It's why are these people being radicalized?
Well, there is that. And, I mean, again, I think McGraw, you can't underestimate his background, at least what he did for us. Chances are he may well have PTSD. This person who contacted the nonprofit thought he had real mental health issues. Well, I think that's pretty obvious. And I'm not saying you can do anything about that. I'm only suggesting that during the final checks of him, in other words, where you're actually giving him asylum, which happened in April of this year with this administration, did anybody ever do a home visit? Did anybody go in and sit down with he and his family and get a real read? And not that that's perfect either, but you would pick up, if at least you're trained to do that. I mean, I used to pick up all sorts of stuff like what's going on with people and note it and then check on it again a week, 2 weeks later. So, that's what I'm talking about. None of this is perfect. It's all about behavior and people saying, doing, and acting maybe, or acting out inappropriate, even violent gestures, but they don't go harm anybody.
Yeah, I mean, but this is another example. I know people want to look at it as an immigration issue, but it's more of a mental health issue, right? He drives across the country to shoot two people he didn't have any contact with. I mean, we've seen this story over and over again now the last couple of times.
All right. And I think that's all symbolic. The day before Thanksgiving, it's at the nation's capital. It's people in uniform. Now, obviously, he could have probably driven down the street in Washington, so to speak, and do that in the state of Washington. But he drove, it was symbolic to him, which probably plays into paranoia and delusions. There's going to be all sorts of stuff that will, I think, eventually come out about him.
Crazy stuff. Brad Garrett, thanks for your time on a busy morning. Have a good day.
You're welcome. Take care, McGraw.
Brad Garrett, ABC News crime and terrorism analyst here, joining us to talk about the latest. 7:56 here, Big 550 KTRS. We've got some rain tickets to give away. It is next Friday. When is it? It is
the 11th, which is
Thursday. It is It's next Thursday. Rain. What is rain? Rain is not in the forecast, though it might be. Rain is the Beatles, the tribute musical to the Beatles that is performing at the fabulous Fox Theater. And we've got how many tickets to give away?
One pair.
One pair of tickets to give away. Who wants to go see the Beatles at the fabulous Fox Theater next Thursday? Text of the Beatles to 84126. 84126. Text that if you are the 11th texter. 84126. Who was it? Was it Scott St. James who said, if you're the 45th caller? Call screener Andrew was not happy. Really, 45th? Why don't you make it the 5th? If you're the 11th texter to text in the Beatles, you will get the pair of tickets to Rain at the Fabulous Fox, which is a great sort of musical tribute to the Beatles
it's a Christmas show
at the Fox. Yeah, so there you go. Sort of like Beatlemania, which I saw at the Winter Garden Theater when I was in junior high. Thank you very much. It was a school event. They took us to go. Imagine a school event to go take you to go see Beatlemania.
Progressive school. I was a hippie teacher.
Holy
right there.
mackerel. 7:58 here, Big 550 KTRS. St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Good morning, Captain Paul.
Good morning, McGraw. A two-vehicle accident on 55 North at Carondelet is off on the shoulder and is causing a bumper-to-bumper jam back to Bayless. On westbound 70 near the McKinley Bridge, we have a stalled tractor-trailer on the shoulder. 270 North is heavy and slow from Big Bend to Manchester. 64 East is running slow from Clayton Road to Lindbergh. And the signals are on flash at Tesson Ferry and East Concord, and at Route N and Hawk Ridge. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right. Thank you, Captain Paul. It's going to be cold these next couple of days, and today it's going to be a high of just 26. Some sun in the morning. Some clouds are going to move in the afternoon. Low overnight of 15. Yeah, that's cold. I'd call Gelmish and Sons. Friday, we're back into the 40s, but then this weekend, upper 30s at best, and maybe some rain and snow on Sunday, but we'll just have to wait and see about all of that. Right now, it is 17 degrees at the Big 550 KTRS. Innsbruck has a deal for you. It is so close, right there, 45 minutes from St. Louis, depending on where you're driving in from, just south of Wright City. They have a brand new lake they are promoting. They're opening up new lots all the time. Lake Summer Vogel. It's the hottest address at Innsbruck. Once you cross over into Innsbruck, it is a beautiful, beautiful community with hundreds of lakes and thousands of acres. And Lake Summervogel, for a limited time, enjoy $30,000 off the sale price of any Lake Summervogel construction cottage. You got to close by the end of the year. Don't miss the opportunity for prime lakefront living with an incredible value. It will become the family compound for generations. Innsbruck's been doing it right for all these many years. Find out more, Innsbruck-resort.com. Innsbruck-resort.com. 8 o'clock, KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. An arrest this morning in Virginia in a mystery that goes back to January 6th. Here's ABC News Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas.
Sources telling ABC News federal authorities have arrested a Northern Virginia man in connection with the placement of 2 potentially dangerous pipe bombs outside the headquarters of the Republican and Democratic National Committees the night before the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol.
For years, the FBI had struggled to pinpoint a suspect in the case despite hundreds of tips and a review of tens of thousands of video files. Now they have an arrest. Growing scrutiny for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, who has blamed Admiral Mitch Bradley for ordering a second strike on a suspected drug boat in the Caribbean that killed survivors on board. ABC's Martha Raddatz.
Sources say they were potentially in communication with others in the area and attempting to salvage some of the drugs that had been in the boat's cargo. Because other vessels were in the area, sources say they were determined to be, quote, still in the fight and considered a valid target. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, who oversees the operations, says he personally didn't see any survivors or the second strike, but calls the decision to strike twice Admiral Bradley's call.
Admiral Bradley will be testifying on Capitol Hill behind closed doors today. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers are now in New Orleans in the Trump administration's push to find and arrest undocumented immigrants. The president has threatened Somali immigrants living in Minnesota with arrests as well, even as Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry says.
He's wrong, and we want them here. Somali people have been an extraordinary benefit.
Applications for unemployment benefits fell to their lowest level in more than 3 years last week. A lot of economists say for now the U.S. job market seems to be stuck in a no hire, no fire status. This is ABC News.
Since 1974, Permajack of St. Louis has been helping residential and commercial owners protect their biggest investment. From successfully solving foundation structural problems to making sure basements remain dry, Permajack has performed tens of thousands of projects on both sides of the river, utilizing state-of-the-art technology, techniques, and equipment. Permajack of St. Louis has done it with honesty and integrity, never recommending anything outside of what you really need. For many repairs, Permajack provides a transferable life of structure warranty, all while Permajack of St. Louis has earned a BBB A+ rating and accreditation for foundation settlement, bowed or buckling walls, cracks in your foundation, walls or bricks, or basement waterproofing. Choose the hometown family-owned team at Permajack of St. Louis. Schedule your free inspection and estimate at permajackofstlewis.com. That's permajackofstlewis.com. Permajack. Solid as rock.
Since 1950, Flanagan Paint and Supply is a St. Louis paint company that has been providing the homeowner and professional painters with top quality products, competitive prices, and to be the leading paint company for architectural, commercial, and industrial coatings. With experts in paints and stains and other custom home products on staff, Flanagan's has your resources to be your one-stop for style. With locations in Ellisville, Webster Groves, St. Peters, Edwardsville, and Wentzville. There's a Flanagan's Paint and Supply near you. Online at FlanaganPaint.com.
Call the closer with Lauren Risley Realty, powered by Homestead Financial Mortgage on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Call the closer at a special time this Saturday at 2 p.m. on the Big 550.
19 degrees at 8:03. Here's what's happening now.
2 Republican Missouri lawmakers have pre-filed bills that aim to classify abortion as a murder offense. State Senator Mike Moon and State Representative Burt Whaley each introduced legislation which comes more than a year after Missouri voters passed Amendment 3. Moon's pre-filed bill would criminalize abortion as an offense against an unborn child. Whaley's pre-filed bill goes further by adding new venue rules for crimes involving unborn children, expanding the duress defense for mothers charged with killing an unborn child, altering the justification defense for life-saving medical procedures, and amending the definition of person in criminal code to include an unborn child from the moment of fertilization. The St. Louis Regional Bomb and Arson Unit has assumed the lead in the investigation into Friday's major fire in downtown St. Louis that impacted multiple vacant warehouses. A search has been underway for one individual who was last reported inside one of the affected warehouses and is currently unaccounted for. Detectives are working closely with the ATF to determine the cause and origin of the fire. While it is early in the investigation, detectives believe there were multiple warming fires in the vacant warehouse. U.S. Senator Josh Hawley has proposed the No Taxes on Health Care Act to provide relief with health care costs. The legislation would allow taxpayers to deduct all out-of-pocket medical expenses up to $25,000 per individual or dependent. It would also allow out-of-pocket spending or health care premiums to be deducted from taxes. A driverless taxi service is coming to St. Louis. The story from KTRS's Sobe Bay.
The company is Waymo, and this week, staff from Waymo will begin driving around our community to familiarize the electric vehicles to our city. This includes mapping curbs, stop signs, crosswalks, and more. Using AI and other data, the car is able to determine speed limits, lanes, and steering maneuvers. Waymo says its vehicles have 91% fewer serious injury crashes compared with the average human driver over the same distance. To use the service, users will have to download the Waymo app, fill in details about the trip, and then hop into the all-electric Jaguar 1 pace car when it arrives. A screen will display your route to the drop-off destination. Details on when Waymo will be fully operational in St. Louis have not yet been released. You can find updates at waymo.com. Sobe Bay, KTRS News.
This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, a place for all your floral needs. You can place your order anytime at WKF.com. Currently 17 degrees. Time now is 8:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
All right. Let's talk about Waymo for a second.
Yeah.
I know they say that everybody's different. And really, everyone's the same, right? You have the same problems in Scottsdale that you have in Los Angeles, that you have in Vegas, that you're going to have in St. Louis.
Well, not snow.
Right. Well, but I mean, in terms, let me just go on record. I've been wrong before, and I'm sure I'll be wrong again. But let me go on record in saying that this Waymo coming to St. Louis is a bad idea. And I don't know, I can't articulate why, but the cynic in me, do you remember when the scooters came to St. Louis?
Yes.
And the stories were that they were thrown into the Mississippi River, they were thrown in trees, and they were vandalized. And you're like, okay, why would we do this? But we did it anyway. So you're just going to have a driverless Jaguar pull up to a random corner, and you're going to get into this thing. And nothing is going to I mean, why don't they steal the copper out of that thing? Or why don't they steal the catalytic converter out of this thing? Or why don't they just throw it in? Why don't they just throw it into the river? I mean, this is not going to end well.
It's so very like Total Recall. I keep picturing it like that.
Taxi, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you know, I don't know. But then again,
I know it's working in other areas.
Yeah.
I know with functioning communities in Scottsdale and Phoenix, it's working. And yes, they have, and not that St. Louis has a whole bunch of degenerates, but it seems like we here really can't have some of the nice things other places have for some other reason I don't know. But it just seems like in a town where we don't even license our own cars and we have our cars that are being stolen at a clip that's higher than everybody else in the world, we're going to have a Jaguar pull up to random strangers in a moment's notice, and you're supposed to get in and not abuse this thing. I mean, what I can't imagine the food that's going to be left behind in these things, or how dirty it's going to get, or what somebody is going to do in the car and then leave for the next person. How are they going to clean it?
Interesting.
Right? I mean, there's gonna. I'm telling you, when this Waymo thing takes off here, there's gonna be like, well, I didn't think that was gonna happen.
Well, and on the other hand, remember there were stories of people calling Ubers basically just so they could carjack them.
Yes.
So in this case, there's nobody to carjack.
You just
and
steal the car, though.
Can't, how could you? I'm sure it's pretty close to impossible to drive. I mean, I bet you can't hotwire it, or you know what I mean. It's probably
You
so
can't
chipped
hack
up
it.
that you can't. Yeah, like it just won't run without.
And also,
criminals are smarter than AI.
That's not these criminals.
You don't want this car. If you've seen one,
Criminals can't even drive my car. They can't even figure out a manual transmission. You
Okay.
think they're going to be able to figure out a good driver? Like
It's
I
a
think I don't
Jaguar.
What
think
are you
it's
talking about? They can
hotwire.
start a
I bet.
car
I bet
with
you
a, with
can't
a,
hotwire it.
I'm just saying that criminals are creative. And it's not like they're going to dismantle it and then sell it on the open market and make money. They're just going to abuse it.
Yeah, well,
take a sledgehammer to it, or take a knife to it, or just rip out the engine because they can. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason, or slash the tires or whatever. I mean, there's no rime or reason for any of it.
Yeah.
They just abuse stuff. So I just don't see this. I don't get it.
Who's in charge? It's the Waymo, the company the
Yeah,
ones
it's
that are like
Google.
St. Louis would be a good city to do this,
It's
right?
Google. It's Google. It's Google's part of it. I wish him well, and I would try it, but no supervision in a cab? Really?
they stand out though.
There's
You're
gum on
not
my
gonna
seat.
if
I understand.
they're not going to get stolen.
Will there be snacks in there?
Okay, well, first, remember when the scooters came? You knew they were scooters. They were distinct, right? The stories that they were thrown in the trees and they were thrown in the river. And then what was the one where the kids took them and they were using them to go, right? The Hilton videos. So they then had to ban them in the certain areas in downtown because
Our former mayor believes that that's why there was crime downtown.
Well, the businesses were like, hey, there's a pack of teenagers on these scooters that are just sort of scaring our customers. Can we get it so that they can't work in this area?
Inside.
And so they sort of had to geo-fence these scooters because it was a nightmare. So, again, I don't know if we really deserve nice things because we abuse them. We need to go to timeout until we learn to be able to respect the toys that we have before we get new toys. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
No, I agree. I mean,
It's 812 here, Big 550 KH. Once we learn how to use
I
the
know.
scooters.
I don't know if that's ever going to happen.
Once we respect the scooters, then maybe we can talk about cars.
Oh, no.
But there's no need to talk about cars because you have not treated your scooter very nicely.
Oh.
That's all I'm saying. I just think an unsupervised Jaguar pulling up at a moment's notice is going to end.
What could possibly go
What could
wrong?
possibly go wrong in St. Louis?
You don't like the drivers in the snow, and now you don't think we can handle driverless cars.
I don't think so. I don't think we're mature enough yet. Hey, let's talk Dalco, because Dalco is a St. Louis company that's been around for 50 plus years. And it's been a longtime sponsor of the Big 550 KTRS. And now, just recently, it's now a sponsor of the morning show. And we're thrilled because Dalco is all about home remodeling and taking care of your home. And, well, that's what we love doing, right? When you talk about roofs, you've learned very quickly this week if your roof is good to go. Well, roofing, gutters, and siding, because the leaves were still falling from the trees as the snow began to fall. And so I suspect there's a number of gutter issues out there. And if you've got gutter issues, that means you got roof issues. And it also means you have siding issues. So Dalco will take care of all of it. They'll work with your insurance company. They'll get you the claim you deserve. And when it's all said and done, it's a local company. So they will make sure they take care of you because they live here, they work here, they play here. Dalco, roofing, gutters, and siding. Dalco, homeremodeling.com. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here once again is Captain Paul.
McGraw, they just cleared an accident on 64 East at McKnight, but there is a residual slowdown back to Lindbergh. 55 North is crowded at Bayless. 270 North is heavy from Big Bend past Manchester. At 70 West, near the McKinley Bridge, there's a stalled tractor trailer on the shoulder, and the signals are on flash at Tesson Ferry and East Concord, and at Route N and Hawk Ridge. This traffic report is brought to you by Lion's Choice, where you can enjoy a quick and delicious meal, but make it healthy with plenty of low-cal, low-carb, vegetarian, and gluten-free options. There's something to satisfy everyone on the Lion's Choice menu. Stop by today. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
A few flurries or a light dusting of snow possible into the evening. The impacts from this expected to be pretty minimal, but if you see those flakes falling, just be aware some isolated slick spots are possible. Take it easy. Temperatures get real cold after a front passes through the area. Wind chill in the single digits at times. High temperature only rising to 22 degrees. With your first alert forecast, I'm meteorologist Leah Hill for the Big 550 KTRS.
I take from the Country Club Car Wash text line. I take Waymo all the time in the Scottsdale, Phoenix area. I love it. I agree. I can't see it working here. Maybe it's the younger community. They're more open to this new technology versus the show me mindset. I've heard from several single women that they love taking Waymo instead of Uber or Lyft because they feel safer. Who knew? You feel safer with a robot driving you than some stranger, which is kind of interesting. Have you seen the video of the Waymo car turning into the middle of the police standoff with a passenger out in California? No, I haven't seen that one. I've used Waymo before in Phoenix. You have to set up a profile with the company. You also have to have a credit card tied to it, and you're on camera 100% of the time. That should help mitigate some of the issues you're pointing to. Yes, because no one's caught doing stupid things where a camera's around. That camera is a deterrent from people, say, stealing things from your porch. Let's put a camera on your porch so they don't steal any of the gifts from your porch that's delivered. Hey, McGraw, you, sir, are the reason why we can't have anything in St. Louis. Forever the skeptic, you simply do not want St. Louis to ever progress. I don't know if that's true.
Just come out and say that. I do not.
I don't necessarily agree with that one.
I guess.
I mean, if you call me an idiot, that I might agree with you on, but that one I don't agree with. My daughter lives in San Francisco. Treated us to a Waymo ride back to our hotel room from their apartment, 1 mile. It passed our hotel and kept going down the street and dropped us off 2 blocks from our hotel. And not in a great area. You are defenseless because you just can't get out of the car. Never again will I use.
It sounds like your daughter set you up.
Right, if it like drops you off on Skid Row or something, you're like, wait a minute.
Can you imagine Waymo trying to make it from downtown to the airport or driving the other day with these idiots in the snow around here? That's my point. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're going to share the road with Waymo during dusting of snow? I'm telling you, man, it's not going to end well. If this were the movie, we cut to the scene and Rose would say, after 3 months, Waymo decided to leave St. Louis due to the unforeseen instances that have occurred. 8:18 here, Big 550 KTR. Stuart was in the studio the other day. What a nice man. He's got a deal for you right now. Look, if you want to refinance your house right now, guess what? He'll give you an extra $500. That's a pretty good deal. Call Stuart. He'll run the numbers for you. If it makes sense, you can lower your monthly mortgage payment and get an extra $500 for the holiday season. What other mortgage banker or broker is doing that in the region? Oh, by the way, no fees. So you lower your monthly mortgage rate, your monthly mortgage. You don't pay any extra in fees, right? 0 fees. And he's going to give you $500. What are you waiting for? That's called progress. That's Stewart, 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440. Have him run the numbers for you, because even though you might know what your interest rate is, you don't know what type of loan it is. Let him run the numbers. Interest rates are somewhat down, so you're going to get a better deal. But just call him to make sure he can run the numbers for you, and then take advantage of this deal. An extra $500 for the holidays? You betcha. Call Stewart, the bagel loan, 314-324-4440 or stewartsamc.com.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Hey, thanks, Farmer Dave. It's been very busy. In the last few weeks, the listeners have been calling, and I've been showing up. I bought several Corvettes, Vipers, Mopars, and even an entire collection directly out of listeners' garages. I'm still looking for more, too. If you have an interesting vehicle to sell, call us or hop on our site today. We'll come right to your house if need be. We're busy selling, too. Black Friday specials are already in full effect with financing rates as low as 3.99 up to 66 months on 2019 or newer models for those who qualify. Time to buy and sell right now.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit MasterCarsInc.com to get more details. That's MasterCarsInc.com.
Hey, the number 2 crew reporting for duty.
Number 2 crew. Let's get in that yard and clean up that doggy doo.
The number 2 crew will visit your yard once a week in the St. Louis area, and they'll take care of your dog's business. Think of them as your yard's best friend.
We are the number 2 crew. We do poo, you do you.
Customers can sign up through their website and utilize their customer portal for any sort of changes or updates. The number2crew.com or 314-717-8880.
We pick up what your dog left behind.
The number2crew.com.
St. Louis County Library and the Novel Neighbor Bookstore are thrilled to host the 4th annual St. Louis Area Book Festival celebrating teen readers. The St. Louis Teen Book Festival will take place on Saturday, December 6th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Clark Family Branch in Ladue. The event is free and open to all readers. The festival features book talks, author signings, and meet and greet opportunities with 20 of the hottest young adult authors in a variety of genres. You can find more details at slcl.org/teen-book-festival.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Lang. Join me for Animal Talk every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 on the Big 550 KTRS, the Animal Talk of St. Louis.
Time to play word association. Are you ready?
Yep.
C.R. Frank popcorn.
Oh, gourmet popcorn, tins made to order, caramel corn made with real butter, hand-packed and guaranteed fresh.
Good. Now try while eating some C.R. Frank popcorn.
Is this a Chicago style?
Yes, a sweet and salty blend of caramel and cheese.
And their popcorn tins are unique.
Oh, my turn for the popcorn. C.R. Frank popcorn.
Fun Foods popcorn machines for home theaters.
C.R. Frank popcorn.
5757 North Lindbergh and Hazelwood. Go to crfrankpopcorn.com.
The gift of good taste.
Hi, it's Frank Cusimano inviting you to join me for the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. We're going to interview some of the biggest names in sports and have our opening monologue. That's the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
822 here, Big 550 KTRS. STLtoday.com has a story this morning about the Dome and how they want to reconfigure the Dome operations to sort of focus more on downtown. That badly needs some of the upgrades and the repairs, and Sam Page is not happy. To talk about it with us is STL Today columnist from the editorial board, Antonio French. Good morning, Antonio French.
Hey, good morning.
What do you think? Sam Page throwing a wrench in this whole thing for downtown.
Well, Sam doesn't like this suggestion that, some of the money that's been going directly to St. Louis County for county services is now going to be redirected to this downtown St. Louis project. I understand. It makes sense that his position is county first. It's always tough to get people in this region to kind of think regionally. And frankly, the Dome is a project that, a lot of people privately or publicly feel that is putting good money after bad, or bad money after good money. Is that right? What's the phrase go? Good money after bad money? Yeah, good money after bad money.
They're spending money they shouldn't be spending. How about that?
Correct. Yeah. We've already spent a lot of money on this project without a return, and now more money is going into it. Trying to save this dome since the Rams left has just been an ongoing project, and nobody still seems to have a plan on really with high probability on how to make this thing a draw again.
Well, part of the problem is you've got 17 people who run it. And so how do you get 17 people to agree on anything who have competing interests, right? I mean, the city and the county will never agree on how to use the Dome because it's got two different entities there, right? It's two different things. And so this is the albatross that is the Dome, right? It was supposed to be built for the region. Who's running it? Who's in charge of it? Now that it's sort of a convention center full time, and it is still generating some activity, so you certainly you don't want to discourage it. You want to encourage it. But I don't know. I mean, this is a classic example of what's in it for me when it comes to the Dome, and it's probably, because of that, probably going to hurt the chances of the Dome being more beneficial for the region because everybody wants their piece of the pie.
Well, you're right. I mean, and going back to your first point there about, over a dozen people who are trying to direct this ship here. I mean, it really begs the central question here is, why is this a public building? Like these things should probably be, privately owned, with private folks taking the risk and then reaping the reward. Why is this constantly falling on taxpayers for this project? And originally we all know the history behind it is that, a football team operating in this building should have owned the building, but instead, the St. Louis and all its wisdom decided we're going to build a building and maintain it forever in hopes of attracting a football team. Then we get a football team, and then we lose a football team, and we still got this building. So, maybe down the road, somebody will suggest maybe we should just sell this thing and let's see if there's actually a market for this kind of a facility in this part of the country.
It's a really interesting point because the team that played there left, built their own stadium with their own money, and left the stadium that was given to them by the taxpayers of the region.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they built their own stadium there because it was clearly a market, and it seems to be profitable for them since. Usually governments, local governments, municipalities, et cetera, get in these situations where they are trying to force something to happen. And so now we got this big building here. And honestly, I don't know if anybody has a true assessment of if there is a market. And are we going to just keep pouring money down this thing forever, keeping it going? In nobody's predictions of even if we, added this, take this money from St. Louis County and put it down here, I don't think anybody has any predictions that all of a sudden this is going to be a boom for the whole region, and all of a sudden money is just going to start pouring into this project and they're going to be so profitable. They're just trying to keep it alive right now. And the question has to be is, to what end and for how long?
Yeah, but again, you've got restaurants, you've got bars, you've got hotels, you've got businesses down there who need those hotels, who need those bars. It's an ongoing. There is no easy answer, but go ahead.
Even with the helping of them, helping these businesses kind of as a trickle down thing, I'm sure those businesses, hey, we would like to support directly. If you want to help us, just send us the money. Send us the money. Help us directly. This whole idea that we're going to help you by helping this building, and then it eventually is going to trickle down. You probably do better at a fraction of the cost of just sending aid directly to some of these downtown businesses that need it, because the market downtown is really bad for small businesses.
Yeah, no question about it. But then throw on top of that St. Louis County saying, hey, hold on a second, but before you do anything, make sure you take care of us, is just another line in the budget items. where it's going to make it harder to do anything with this thing and turn it around or make it at least somewhat better use for the region. But, the county wants theirs. The county wants theirs. So we're constantly...
everybody's trying to take care of their own.
We all work against each other in this in this deal. Antonio French, have a good day. As always, thanks for checking in.
Thanks to you. Have a good one.
You got it. Antonio French here every Tuesday and Thursday. 8:30 here, Big 550 KTRS. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Take it away.
McGraw 270 North is heavy from Doherty Ferry to 64, where it's bumper to bumper due to construction. At 70 West near the McKinley Bridge, we have a stalled tractor trailer on the shoulder, and the signals are on flash at Tesson Ferry and East Concord and at Route N and Hawk Ridge. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
By the way, all that being said about the Dome, it is going to be packed this weekend. Packed to the gills. People are going to run downtown to go see the 2025 Gateway Dirt Nationals. They're going to turn it into a dirt racetrack, and it is going to be packed. I was living downtown one year, and the dirt track, something was there, and they were letting out. And it was a sea of humanity. I thought it was like Game 7 of the World Series. I was like, what in the world is going on down here? They said, oh, yeah, the dirt track races. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, packed beyond belief. So with all that being said, there is going to be a lot of activity Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with these dirt track races that are going on down at the Dome. 8:31 here, Big 550 KTRS. Let's go to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
The FBI has made an arrest in its nearly 5-year-old investigation into who placed pipe bombs in Washington before the January 6, 2021 riot at the U.S. Capitol. That's according to a law enforcement official who spoke to the Associated Press. The pipe bombs were placed on January 5th of 2021 near the offices of the Democratic and Republican National Committees. Nobody was hurt before the bombs were rendered safe, but the FBI said both devices could have been lethal. U.S. applications for unemployment benefits fell to their lowest level in more than 3 years last week, potentially complicating the Federal Reserve's upcoming decision on interest rates. The number of Americans applying for jobless benefits for the week ending November 29 fell to 191,000 from the previous week's 218,000, according to the Labor Department. In local headlines, Secretary of State Alexei Giannoulias is leading an effort to help Illinoisans avoid the TSA's new $45 penalty for not having a real ID. Giannoulias announced his office is taking action to make it easier for Illinois residents to get their real ID. And there's a plan to overhaul the Dome at America's Center. Yesterday, the board that owns the Dome approved a plan to overhaul its operations and new funding from local and state taxes. 19 degrees. Time now is 8:31. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line, listen to this. Hello, it's Sydney. I help the self-employed get affordable health care plans with low copays. Interested? Interesting. Reply yes for the quote. Text 9 to opt out.
And also include your Social Security number and PIN number.
Interesting.
Just for fun.
Thank you, Sydney. All right, I'll take the Waymo over to your office right now. 8:32 here, Big 550 KTRS.
Don't miss Straight Talk on Retirement with Jeff and Aaron Lapidus every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Join this dynamic father-daughter duo every Saturday morning for an entertaining and intimate understanding of the retirement needs you may soon be facing. From decades of financial planning expertise combined with a deep knowledge of healthcare benefits, Aaron and Jeff will give you the Straight Talk on Retirement every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hi, I'm Matt Beatty, owner of Beatty Roofing, and we are proud to support Light Up Glennon. With over 70 years of experience, we have the best team and fleet in our industry. We provide smart project management, delivering commercial and residential projects on schedule, on budget, and done right. We always strive to exceed client expectations and have relationships with a diverse range of roofing material manufacturers, which allows us to utilize the optimal materials your roof will require. Call 314-892-1331 or visit us online at BeattyRoofing.com. Have a blessed holiday season.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, He selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Ray's Tree Service wants to remind you that trees naturally enter dormancy as temperatures drop. Trimming during this period minimizes stress on the tree and reduces the risk of disease. Removing dead or crossing branches helps promote better airflow and light penetration, which can enhance the tree, lawn, and landscaping health. Call Ray's Tree Service at 314-821-2665 for a free estimate with one of our qualified arborists, or online at raystreeservice.com.
Feeling sluggish or just not quite yourself? It might be time to optimize your hormones. Heidi here for Premier U, the experts in helping men and women feel their absolute best. Premier U specializes in personalized hormone optimization to boost energy, improve mental clarity, and enhance overall wellness. Take charge of your health today. Visit premierumed.com and discover how hormone optimization can transform your life. 2 locations on both sides of the river with telemed options. Premier U, where better health begins.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS. It's now time for the Press Box with Frank Cusimano on the McGraw-Millhaven Show on the Big 550 KTRS. Powered by Walter Knoll Florist. We know flowers.
All right, let's check in with Frank Cusimano from Channel 5 and, of course, Big 550 KTRS. Welcome back into the hot seat, Frank Cusimano.
It's great to be back, McGraw. Hope you're doing well, sir.
Yes, very well. Let's talk Billikens are having a good week in the sports department. Talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, they just got back from a really nice West Coast road trip. And, McGraw, they were a miraculous shot away from going 3-0. But how about this situation, McGraw? You are up 2 points, and Stanford's at the free throw line, and they miss the free throw. The ball caroms off. A Stanford player catches it and throws up a 3 at the buzzer, and the Billikens lose. That you can't get any more painful. However, they come back a few days later at Loyola Marymount and blow them out of the building. So they are 7-1. They have a 35 RPI. What this town needs more than anything is a winner. We're not getting it from hockey. We didn't get it from baseball. We certainly didn't get it from soccer. And now we have a program that I think is going to have an unbelievable season.
Yeah, all right. What about the soccer team, right? They're off to the Final Four as well, aren't they?
They're in the quarters.
Okay.
So they have to win at Akron this weekend. And if they do, a Final Four appearance. And, you know, McGraw, in the history of college soccer, SLU has 10 national championships, and Indiana is second with 9. So maybe we extend the lead in a couple of weeks.
All right, good. Let's talk college football playoffs because this is shaping up to be a disaster. What are you seeing how this sort of shakes out?
Well, it's going to be a disaster if you're a Notre Dame fan. I mean, I don't see a scenario where they get in because if BYU beats Texas Tech, then BYU moves ahead of Notre Dame. Notre Dame's out. If BYU loses, then in that room, McGraw, you're going to have the decision. Okay, do we take Miami or we take Notre Dame? They have identical records, and Miami beat Notre Dame head-to-head. And it is a bad situation because you want to have a college football playoff with one of the biggest brands in college football history in it. I don't see how it could happen. The only scenario would be if Alabama got annihilated by Georgia and their quarterback got hurt in the SEC championship game, then maybe Notre Dame could leap Alabama. But I don't see the scenario where Notre Dame gets in. I may be wrong.
But what about, like, Tulane? I'm sorry. Tulane is not one of the top 12 teams in the country. Vanderbilt, you can make an argument, right? So Tulane's probably going to get in. Vandy's going to be on the outside looking in. It kind of doesn't make any sense.
I agree. In fact, I don't know if you saw Diego Pavia, the great quarterback from Vanderbilt, who I'm going to vote for on Monday for the Heisman Trophy, by the way. He sent out a tweet asking President Trump to put in an executive order right now to extend the playoff to 16 teams. I don't think it's going to get done, but your premise or your point is right because what's the harm of like Vanderbilt in there, Texas in there, Notre Dame in there? I mean, those are some big name schools that probably won't be in. It just makes sense. 16. You know, I don't care about the buys. Get the best 16 teams. I think it'll get to that eventually.
Well, look, I said this at the very beginning, right? It was 2, then it was 4. And right when it was 2, everybody was happy or not happy because it has to be more. So 4. All right, let's just settle on 4. Okay, 4. They weren't happy with 4. Now we're at 12. Eventually, at some point, someone's going to be left out and someone's going to be crying in their milk, being left home. So I don't know what the right number is, but I do know this, that if you have a playoff system, no one's clamoring for Tulane to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, the only problem is if you exclude all of the non-Power 4 teams in America, then you have no hope for them. Granted, Tulane would get annihilated by Notre Dame, but I do like the fact that if you give the smaller schools, at least one of them, a chance to get into the playoff every year.
Yeah, but it isn't like basketball where a David can beat a Goliath. I mean, the college football is totally different, and it's just not going to happen. So we'll see what happens. I haven't talked to you since the Sonny Gray trade to the Red Sox. What'd you make of that, and what'd you make of the haul the Cardinals got back?
Well, I think they did about as well as they could. You have one guy who's going to be in the rotation next year, and you have another guy who has a chance to be elite. So it makes no sense in the world, McGraw, for in a complete rebuild the Cardinals are in. And I don't know why they don't just say rebuild. It's like using the F word with them. But there's no sense at all for a team in a complete rebuild to be paying a pitcher $35 million a year next season. So you had to move him, and I think you got 2 pretty nice pieces in return. And believe me, the baseball winter meetings begin next week in Orlando. That's where some more action is going to happen. You know, and I know the Cardinals get a lot of criticism for not spending money, but they gave a whole lot of money to the Red Sox so they could buy better prospects on the way back. So they are investing in these prospects. Oh, there's no doubt about it. And, you know, Hein Blue it's not going to be like, next year we'll be, complaining about the Cardinals as much as we did last year. But at least next year we know there's a real game plan in place. And maybe in a few years, this team could be okay. Yeah. All right, Frank Cusimano. Where are you guys today? We are at Our Lady of the Snows in beautiful Belleville, Illinois. Oh, nice. All right, good. Frank and Jill comes your way at 10. Frank, have a good, safe trip, and we'll see you on the TV and the radio. Thanks for checking in, as always. All right, sir. Thank you. You got it. 8:42 here at Big 550 KTRS. Listen to this. Let's see here. Can you give a shout-out to Francis Howell Central and wish their esports teams good luck at the state finals on Friday? Good luck to the esports teams of Francis Howell Central on the state finals on Friday. Tulane is more deserving than the 5-loss Duke team. What a joke. 12 is the right amount. It should be 12. The 12 best. The 12 best, but 12 best is not Tulane or Duke for that matter. It's just not. I don't know what the 12 best are, but it ain't Tulane. Let's see here. Let me see. I can't read that one. You should do the last hour of your show from a Waymo. Okay. From the 3 and 4. You're an idiot, McGraw. See, now that I agree with. There are 100 cameras on the car, and you only have 2 eyes.
Hey, McGraw, I think the real reason women feel more comfortable with the Waymo versus other services is because there's not a creepy guy sitting there asking them creepy questions. Hi.
What do you do for a living?
Hi. Where are you going? Do I have time for this? I saw something on social media that fascinated me. And it was a woman talking to men. And the woman was saying basically this. Look, there are so few men out there in the world because they're all at home on their phones trying to find the internet or Instagram model of their choice. If the men were to, she said, I would go out a couple of years ago and I'd go to the bar and I would be hit on numerous times by men. Now I go out and there aren't any men around. And she was like, put your phones down and go talk to a real woman. And it was really kind of a fascinating argument. She was half, I don't want to say stuck up, but half like, how come men aren't hitting on me anymore? And half like, there aren't even any men to like hit on me anymore because they're all at home on their phones.
Yeah, like the effort isn't there anymore.
Yeah,
it's easier just to sit at home and
yeah, just to sit at home as opposed to go out to a movie or a bar or a restaurant or a dance call or whatever. Well, I mean,
there's people that are rather have an AI boyfriend or girlfriend, right? So
yes.
It's like, talk about the effort really is not there anymore.
So the women out there are like, men, we're standing here waiting to be talked to, and you're instead trying to chase down some internet queen somewhere. Mm-hmm. That was a really interesting thought process. Yeah, a little creepy, but also a reality of the world is that the men would rather sit at home and flip through their phone.
How did that end up on your feed?
I
like
have no
it was
idea.
a recommendation because
some algorithm somewhere.
He DM'd her.
Because he's like, this McGraw needs to hear this.
Who knows? Because I searched for I don't know.
Working.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. 846 here, Big 550 KTRS. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul.
McGraw, there's a crash on 44 West at North Broadway downtown. It's blocking the left lane and causing a stop and go back up to St. Louis Avenue. The estimated clearance time is 9:25. 270 North is heavy from Doherty Ferry to 64, where it's bumper to bumper due to construction. At 70 West near the McKinley Bridge, there's a stalled tractor trailer on the shoulder, and the signals are on flash at Tesson Ferry and East Concord, and at Route N and Hawk Ridge. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
A few flurries or a light dusting of snow possible into the evening. The impacts from this expected to be pretty minimal, but if you see those flakes falling, just be aware some isolated slick spots are possible. Take it easy. Temperatures get real cold after a front passes through the area. Wind chill in the single digits at times. High temperature only rising to 22 degrees. With your first alert forecast, I'm meteorologist Leah Hill for the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's talk appliance discounters, because if you need appliances, you need appliance discounters. Why? Well, first of all, they got 6 area locations. That's one. 2, it's a great St. Louis family, the largest appliance retailer in town. So they buy in bulk and they put them in their 80,000 square foot warehouse, and they get the prices as low as possible. Then they can pass those savings on to you. Huge cash rebates available, free delivery, free installation on major brands, right? These are well-known brands. Select GE Profile, Cafe Appliances, Bosch Appliances, all on top of the huge savings. So you get free delivery and free installation on some of these big name brands. Oh, yeah. You want to use their money? Yeah, 18 months. Interest-free financing on qualified purchases. So you get the name brands, you get the warranties and the rebates on top of the great pricing, 18 months financing, 6 area locations. Drive right by the big box store. Head straight to appliance discounters. Thank me later. The appliancediscounters.com.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
A stiff chair makes you sit. An X chair lets you float. Upgrade to an X chair, engineered for better posture and focus. The secret? Patented lumbar support that adjusts instantly. SiFloat Infinite Recline that moves effortlessly with you. X chair is next level ergonomic seating that truly floats. Right now, you can save up to 50% with the X Chair holiday sale. Supplies are limited, so visit xchair.com today for up to 50% off. That's xchair.com.
At Maryville University, we power dreams, not just degrees. For nearly 150 years, we've empowered graduates to build successful careers. At Maryville, expect a rigorous, technology-driven, mentor-inspired education in a diverse and inclusive learning environment. We help you take it to the next level, no matter what field you choose. Now is the time to turn your ambition into action and transform your dream into reality. Start your journey at maryville.edu.
Experience all the magic of the holiday season at the Marketplace on the Hill. Shop local at the Hill Antique Market, and you'll help support more than 75 local vendors. Enjoy a delicious lunch at Oliva and unwind there during their now famous Wind Down Wednesdays. Consider renting the beautiful La Verona event space for your next party or corporate outing. It all happens at the Marketplace on the Hill at 4923 Daggett. Online at cateringstlouis.com. Shop your ultimate gifts, decor, fashion. Celebrating 30 years, give the ultimate unique gifts from Christopher's and Mark Anthony's Gifts, St. Louis's premier gifting and decor destination, located in downtown Kirkwood, Missouri. Now 2 brands, 1 location. Visit us at 127 East Argonne, Kirkwood, Missouri, 63122, or online at stlgift.com. Happy holidays from our family to yours. Remember, be kind, gift kindly.
Diana from Newstetter's Fine Jewelers here to remind you, we don't just offer the best pieces, we offer one of the last master hand engravers in our country. My father can create timeless, personal, and unforgettable pieces. Come by our showroom at the corner of Big Ben and Doherty Ferry, or learn more online at wowdiamonds.com.
Looking for a great local restaurant recommendation?
Feed me Seymour.
Tune in to the Kuno Food Service weekly special during the Frank and Jill Show, Thursdays at 11. Hear from the best of the best restaurant owners in town. Only on the Frank and Jill Show, Thursdays at 11. Presented by Kuno Food Service, right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
It's the season of giving, and what better gift can you give than a donor? Mid-America Transplant Foundation Executive Director Kevin Lee joins us. Kevin, welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
You brought a friend with you, Larry Snelling. Larry, welcome to Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you very much.
We just met off the air, and you were telling me that your daughter passed a number of years ago, and you told me that she became a donor for a number of different organs. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so in 2019, Rachel passed away after a surgery at Barnes. The first thing that we thought of was organ donation and how she could help others because she was that type of person.
Right.
So she went on to give her major organs to 4 recipients that are still doing well today that we know of. We've had contact with 1 of the 4, which is very rewarding. But then her tissue also went on to help 20 others. So 24 people's lives have been changed with the decision to donate. Donate Life.
It's incredible. It's amazing. It's science fiction, but emotionally, it must be a roller coaster of epic proportions. You lose your daughter, which is heart-wrenching in and of itself. How do you go on? But then to see her live in other people, how do you deal with that emotionally?
That's a reward, is seeing people go on, knowing what she would want.
Mm-hmm.
I best described it as, I said, there's a hole in my heart, right? And at first, the inside of that hole was like razor blades, very sharp. And I said, as you learn more about the people that she has helped and survived and the stories that come out of it, it takes the edge off just a little bit. So, yeah, that emotional roller coaster is there.
Yeah.
Minute to minute.
Yeah.
I would say day to day, but it's minute to minute because I can be talking one time just fine, and the next time it's gone.
I'm breaking up right now. What was it? A difficult decision at the end?
It was. But we had the best person from Mid-America Transplant to walk us through it. When this happened, I did not know a lot about Donate Life, about organ donation or anything, but we knew that was the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the person that we had walked us through from Mid-America Transplant, walked us through step by step, and we knew it was the right decision to make.
All these years later, you're still glad you did it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The rewards are, and I don't know how you can call it rewards, but the benefits for me is knowing that I'm helping others through Rachel, right? I don't get on and talk on the radio or talk in front of people without her being right there with me.
Yeah.
And it's her that's doing the talking.
Kevin Lee, a similar story you hear from other families?
We do. We find that, and we hear from families on really a daily, weekly basis, that they take great solace in their grief journey, recognizing that grief is not a point in time, but it's a journey, that their loved one's legacy of life lives on in others. And so knowing that Rachel's recipients of her generous gifts of tissue and organ are preparing to celebrate the holidays. They just got to celebrate Thanksgiving with their families.
Yeah.
That's very meaningful for our donor families, who are really our heroes. In November, that just concluded here in the St. Louis region, 48 families said yes to organ donation, and almost another 200 said yes to tissue donation.
Yeah.
And that's particularly tough as we think through the holidays, but it is a season of giving, and we are humbled and energized by their courage to say yes at this time of loss in their life.
I would think, and Larry, you can sort of talk to this, the counselor who you counseled with at that time, talk about God's work, right? I mean, they have to deal with the grief of the family and try and have that conversation, right? I mean, that's a very, very difficult situation to put these people in, and they have to be very, very careful of how they have that conversation.
We have some phenomenal family support coordinators that we're fortunate to work with at Mid-America Transplant, who are trained, passionate individuals that meet families where they're at on really their worst day, at that intersection of life and death, and walk them through this process should they want to move forward with this generous act.
Too many people pass. We have more people who need organs and transplants than we have organs and transplants, correct?
That is correct, sir. We have over 100,000 people across our nation, 1,400 people in the region who are on waiting lists today, waiting for that life-saving gift.
Yeah. Larry, I'll give you the last word. You would recommend making sure that if you can, the family ultimately ends in the, right? I mean, it's a good process when it's all said and done.
Absolutely. It's not for everyone. And I think Kevin would agree with that you're gonna find some families that just don't feel comfortable with it,
right,
or they don't have the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what my biggest thing is understanding what organ donation is all about and how it can help in the future.
Larry Snelling, Merry Christmas to you and Godspeed to you. get up out of bed and tell that story. It's a testament to you and your daughter and everything else. And Kevin Lee, Executive Director of Mid-America Transplant, where can people go to find out more information about some of this stuff?
Yeah, midamericatransplant.org is our website. There's a lot of information there. We would encourage people to go to sayyesgivelife.org, register their intent to save and heal lives through donation, and then share your intent with those who care about you so that they can make an informed decision at the appropriate time.
It's not just filling out the back of your driver's license.
No, sir.
You have to make your
have the
intentions
conversation
known.
with your family.
Yeah, good stuff. Kevin and Larry, Merry Christmas to you guys both.
Merry Christmas.
8:58 here. Quick check of traffic. Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, a crash on 44 West at North Broadway downtown is blocking the 2 left lanes and causing a stop and go back up to St. Louis Avenue. Estimated clearance time is 9:25. And 64 West bogs down in front of Forest Park. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Concerned about where your retirement is heading? Is it on track to meet your needs and goals? Are taxes and inflation a constant worry? Well, you can join Jerry Means for What Retirement Means to You, powered by Means Financial Group, and find out how their team can help guide you to that retirement you've always dreamed of. Listen to What Retirement Means to You with Jerry Means, Sunday mornings at 10 on KTRS, The Talk of St. Louis. More details at meansfinancialgroup.com.
Mizzou football.
It's a rushing touchdown, and Missouri extends the lead.
KTRS AM, FM 1061, K291CW St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. In Northern Virginia, a man has been arrested in connection with planting pipe bombs the night before the January 6th attacks in Washington. Here's ABC White House correspondent Karen Travers.
The arrest comes nearly 5 years after the discovery of the pipe bombs outside the RNC and DNC headquarters on the afternoon of January 6th, roughly 16 hours after they were placed by a suspect who was seen on various surveillance cameras. The suspect is expected to face charges for allegedly planting the devices, which investigators later determined were viable explosives that, if detonated, could have resulted in, quote, serious injury or death, marking an extraordinary development in one of the most high-profile federal investigations in recent history. It's not clear the full scope of evidence that authorities have gathered allegedly tying the suspect to the planting of the bombs. An FBI official confirmed the arrest to ABC News. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
On Capitol Hill right now, Admiral Mitch Bradley, who Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth gave the order for a second strike on a suspected drug boat in the Caribbean that killed survivors on board. Some say that amounts to a war crime. Also this week, the Defense Department's Inspector General, a Pentagon watchdog, concluding that Defense Secretary Hegseth risked endangering U.S. troops when he relayed sensitive information about a Houthi rebel strike via a signal messaging app.
Sources say Hegseth refused to sit down for an interview as part of the investigation, instead telling the IG in a statement that he has the power to classify and declassify information and that the chat on Signal would not put troops at risk if exposed, an assertion the IG rejects.
ABC Chief Global Affairs Correspondent Martha Raddatz. Stocks holding near their records on Wall Street as Dollar General and Salesforce post positive earnings reports. Also today, the Labor Department says the number of Americans filing for unemployment benefits are the lowest in 3 years. This is ABC News.
The holiday season sparkles with a family tradition now in its 56th year. The Shrine of Our Lady of the Snow's Way of Lights Christmas display. The missionary oblates of Mary Immaculate invite you to make the Way of Lights part of your Christmas celebration. Drive through the amazing journey to the Bethlehem light display, now with more colorful lights. Find that perfect holiday gift in the Shrine gift shop. See their Christmas tree room, and now offering a food and drink snack area, all at Our Lady of the Snow in Belleville, now through December 31st. Learn more at snows.org.
What goes great with Mizzou Tigers football? Well, Dogtown Pizza, of course. And with 12 different flavors to choose from, you can have a different pizza every game.
Pepperoni peppercini, hot chicken, the SOB sausage onion bacon, and the newest addition to the lineup, meatball mozzarella.
Forget the pumpkin spice. The best fall flavor is football and pizza. MIZDOG. Dogtown Pizza and dogtownpizza.com. Dogtown Pizza and check out all 12 flavors online at dogtownpizza.com.
Kirkwood Florist has been a family-owned florist and gift shop since 1951. For over 70 years, Kirkwood Florist has been delivering extraordinary floral experiences every day for every event. Kirkwood Florist has an award-winning design team, friendly customer service and logistics staff, and a great gift shop. They offer same-day, fast delivery to most St. Louis areas if in by noon, with fresh flowers, plants, and unique gift items. Kirkwood Florist, family-owned since 1951. KirkwoodFlorist.com.
18 degrees at 9:03. A firefighter is recovering after a roof collapsed on him while battling a fire in South St. Louis. Firefighters were called to a burning vacant building along the 2600 block of Ohio at around 3 this morning. The firefighter became trapped when the roof collapsed. His fellow firefighters were able to locate him and pull him to safety. He suffered minor injuries but did not need to be transported to a hospital. The cause of the fire is being investigated. Millions of dollars in new federal funding has been approved to help accelerate cleanup efforts in Coldwater Creek. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers St. Louis District has received an additional $40.5 million for remediation work at Coldwater Creek. The funding follows prolonged concerns about public safety in Coldwater Creek, a 19-mile tributary of the Missouri River that runs through neighborhoods, schools, and parks. The Missouri Attorney General is warning consumers to be cautious of holiday scams. KTRS's Sobe Bay reports.
Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway is warning about several types of scams, including fake delivery notifications. She also warns that criminals may create fake charities or social media fundraisers to exploit holiday generosity. Fraudulent online shops may advertise steep discounts, but ship counterfeit items or nothing at all after taking payment. Scammers also may place fake QR codes on event signs or parking meters, redirecting consumers to malicious sites. Fake airline and hotel websites may imitate real booking platforms to capture personal information. Some scammers even use letters from Santa to steal personal information for identity theft. And while shopping online, Hanaway recommends using a credit card as it provides stronger fraud protection than other payment methods. Sobe Bay, KTRS News.
Governor J.B. Pritzker and the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity announced an additional $10 million in funding for the Job Training and Economic Development Program. It will be used for workforce training and wraparound services aimed at bolstering equitable workforce recovery for Illinoisans struggling to gain meaningful employment. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florists, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. And now let's take a look at the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. You can tune into Straight Talk on Retirement on Saturday mornings from 9 to 11 on the Big 550. The Dow is down 6 points to 47,900. The S&P is down 2 points to 6,900. And the NASDAQ is down 14 points to 23,500. In KTRS Sports, the Blues are in Boston tonight to take on the Bruins. It's the first of 3 straight road games for the Note. And Mizzou football has wrapped up a 19-man 2026 high school recruiting class. Coach Eli Drinkwitz made it clear during his signing day press conference that the emphasis continues to shift towards a more critical transfer portal class still to come. In KTRS Time Saver Traffic, let's go to the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center for a look at the roads where we find Captain Paul Kopsky standing by.
Rose, a crash on 44 West at North Broadway downtown is blocking the 2 left lanes and causing a stop and go back up to St. Louis Avenue. 64 West bogs down in front of Forest Park, and the signals are on flash at Tesson Ferry and East Concord and at Route N and Hawk Ridge. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rack House in Cottleville. Plan your holiday party at the Rack House or stop by for brunch or happy hour. The Rack House, featuring a seasonal menu and upscale casual dining and drinks since 2014. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. In KTRS weather, a mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 27. Clear skies tonight with an overnight low of 14. And tomorrow, sunny and a bit warmer with a high of 43. 18 degrees at 9:07. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Way back in time, if you had a leak in the roof of your hut, I imagine you had to find a tree close by, scale it, and then jump and hope you could get up there and see what was wrong. Then came the advent of the ladder. There was an easier way to get up there and see if something was wrong. And with modern technology, we finally get around to the drone. Now, the folks at Allen Roofing use those instead of trees and ladders. Send a drone up, find out if there's anything wrong with your roof, get some pictures, go over it with you, and see if there's a problem, how bad it is, what they could do, what it'll cost, or if everything's just fine, they will tell you that too. Boy, it's so nice we don't have to climb trees to look at our hut. Allen Roofing, embracing technology and doing quality roof repair, siding, gutters, everything for the outside of your home. Just ask Gronk. He was one of the first customers. It's Allen Roofing. Find him online at aroofing.net.
M1 Bank. Banking on a mission through the power of purpose. M1 Bank invests in low-income housing and renewable energy to support communities nationwide while maximizing returns to our local communities. M1 Bank has locations in downtown Clayton, Des Peres, and Creve Coeur, and online at m1bank.net. M1 Bank believes in the mission to help people through the power of purpose. This inspires and propels our community outreach, which is why we are proud to support Light Up Glennon.
The leaves and temperatures are changing. Can your furnace keep up? With Viviano Heating and Air, you don't have to guess. Our certified technicians provide expert HVAC maintenance, repairs, and energy-efficient upgrades tailored specifically to your home. So whether you're looking for a full system replacement or a tune-up to get you through the cooler months, call Viviano today. Check out the website, vivianoair.com. Trane, the most reliable name in heating and cooling around. It's hard to stop a train.
At Maryville University, we power dreams, not just degrees. For nearly 150 years, we've empowered graduates to build successful careers. At Maryville, expect a rigorous, technology-driven, mentor-inspired education in a diverse and inclusive learning environment. We help you take it to the next level, no matter what field you choose. Now is the time to turn your ambition into action and transform your dream into reality. Start your journey at maryville.edu.
For 6 generations, the name Edwards has stood for unwavering trust in wealth management. At Benjamin F. Edwards, we're fiercely independent and focused on one thing: empowering advisors to put clients first, always. We offer personalized advice, guided by your needs, not ours. We are a relationship business. Discover the difference a truly client-first firm can make. Your wealth journey deserves a true partner. Visit BenjaminFEdwards.com. That's BenjaminFEdwards.com. Member SIPC.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flex Steel and Smith Brothers. We carry top-quality mattresses from world-famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for Bishop's Post. It's that time of year again, so make sure to get your reservations at Bishop's Post for Christmas and New Year's Eve. They're filling up for holiday parties too, so get those reservations. Bishop's Post, located in Chesterfield, and bishopspost.com.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis. This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
(9:12) here, Big 550, KTRS. It's time to check in with you, the listener. Phone numbers are as follows: 314-931-5877. 314-931-5877. We can talk serious. We can talk politics. We can talk goofy. We can talk Christmas movies. I find myself getting sucked into Hallmark Christmas movies.
Oh my gosh, there was one on last night. And we watched the last 15 minutes of it, and that's all we needed to see.
It's those movies are so bizarre, but they're there. I'd love to write a movie script for a Hallmark movie.
You need the gazebo.
It just can't be that hard. It just can't be that. Things that just don't look that hard for 500, Alex, and that is writing a movie script for a Hallmark movie. They just can't be. All right, so the phone calls, and the text messages are available. 314-931-5877. Text your comments, 84126. Text line's having fun today. I think it's ironic that the same day they legalized gambling, they restricted porn. I saw that on the news yesterday. They're talking about the restricting porn in Missouri, and then they went to a commercial promoting gambling. I don't do either, but I just thought that was ironic, and that's from Josh Gilbert, apparently. Kidding. It was from Jeffrey Toobin. Oh, you stepped on my second.
I'm sorry.
It was Jeffrey Toobin. See? Hey, no, it was Pee Wee Herman. I'm sorry. Hey, yeah, sorry. I couldn't resist. I apologize. Yesterday, I was the one who texted in regarding the whiskey tumblers. If you like that one, what is the best way to get you one? Also, I can send a picture first. I just need to know how. Thank you. Look, that is a very, very nice gift, an extremely nice gift. Please don't make me one. Give it to somebody who I don't drink whiskey. It would go to waste. Thank you. Wonderful. But no, thank you. I'm not trying to be rude or insensitive. But don't you don't have to make me one. It's really very sweet of you, though. The government shutdown was a dumb idea. Yes, it was. Let's see here. I donated tissue. Okay. My husband passed away on November 6th, and someone called me, and, I donated tissue. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Great segment on educating people on donations. Loved it. The ultimate gift is life. Here's another one. Our grandson died after a long illness. My daughter donated some of the organs to others who needed them. My family believes it was paying it forward. Yep. Yeah. My daughter died in 2016. She was a donor, and it was somewhat comforting. It's right. I mean, there's nothing that can assuage your grief, I could imagine. But in some small way, there's some good that came out of all that sadness, and that is that somebody else was able to, some other family was able to enjoy their loved ones because of the tragedy that befallen your family. So it's right. It's the yin and the yang of life. Phone number is 314-931-5877. Text your comments to 84126. This poly market thing I am addicted to. I don't know if addicted is the right word, but this poly market thing where you can go and they gamble on current events. It's not the Cardinals going to win tonight.
Will Pete Hegseth last till New Year's?
Yes, and then it will Pete Hegseth last till March 31st, and it's at 25%.
Wow.
Think he will survive. So that means 75% think he won't survive, right? That's pretty interesting. If I have that correct, right now there's Pete Hegseth out as Secretary of State by March 31st, 25% chance. So 25% of the bettors think he'll be gone by March 31st.
So you bet that he's going to stay, and you'll make money.
Well, you'd still make money if you bet the other way.
But less.
But less money, yeah, the odds, yeah. So it's 26% yes, or 26 cents for yes, 77 cents for no. And I believe that is if you bet $1 or if you bet 26 cents, you'd win $1. If you bet 77 cents, you'd win $1. So you'd win 75 cents for a yes and 25 cents for a no. I think I have that right. But there's also one, will Mike Johnson be out as Speaker of the House? And he's only at like 22%. So he's not doing much better than Pete Hegseth. And Elise Stefanik in the Wall Street Journal today calling out Mike Johnson. What's your problem with Mike Johnson? It's like the Republican Party it's turned into a circular firing squad, which is kind of what you see now that Trump is sort of becoming a lame duck right before our very eyes, and sort of the power struggle over what's going to happen next. So you're starting it all dissolve in the infighting and everything else. But and then this where he he pardons this Democratic congressman from Texas makes zero sense. Why would you pardon a Democratic congressman who's in all sorts of legal troubles, allegedly took $600,000 in bribes? He's in all sorts of legal trouble, and he might not run or lose his seat to a Republican with such tight margins in the House. Why would Trump pardon a Democrat who now is saying, I'm going to stay a Democrat and I'm going to continue to run for re-election? That's a head scratcher too. So who knows? What do we know? Phone numbers are as follows: 314-931-5877. Text your comments to 84126. Did you see that James Cameron is restricting the use of AI for any of his movies?
Really? Because Avatar is nothing but AI.
It's all green screen.
They screened it for us yesterday. I did not go because it's 3 hours and 15 minutes.
I don't get it. I didn't watch the first one. I have no desire of watching blue people fly around on the screen.
This is the third one.
This is the third one. The first one was like the highest grossing movie in the history of mankind.
Yeah. But that's because ticket prices are higher.
Wow.
They should always go on tickets sold rather than box office. But they don't.
That's a good point, too. I just don't. God love the man. The man can make any movie he wants. He's enamored with these blue people.
Get off it. Make another Terminator.
You got to spend years to make a movie like this.
Yeah.
And he wanted to spend years with these blue people.
Yeah.
Who are the blue people anyway? What are they?
The Na'vi.
Are they on
another
Earth?
planet?
They're on another planet.
Another planet. The Earth people come and try to take their resources.
Got it.
The first one is Fern Gully, the cartoon from the 80s.
Oh, I thought it was like Dancing with the Wolves.
Also true.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not original at all.
Yeah.
And the second one is on that in water. And the third one is Fire and Ash. So that with fire.
I love Titanic, but be that as it may. From the Country Club Car Wash text line, Trump laws to pardon people who are convicted on corruption charges because he is a corrupt president himself. Why are we blowing up Venezuelan drug boats if Trump is pardoning drug dealers and doesn't recall who they are? If just forgetting the personal agenda of anybody, Donald Trump is aging right before our very eyes. His hair is thinning and getting messy. It's like somebody messed up his hair right before he goes out. He's slouched over. He's walking like an old man. He sounds low energy, to steal a phrase. I mean,
he's falling asleep.
He's falling asleep in these meetings. He's aging rapidly. I mean, the man's, 80 years old? He's aging rapidly. And then he keeps showing up with these bruises on his hand.
And cankles.
Yeah, it's...
But his checkup last week was fine. 100% perfect.
Enjoy your land of make-believe, McGraw. Blue people are Biden supporters. Okay. I don't know what that means. Predicting what Trump will do next is like trying to go. Why are you calling Donald Trump a lame duck? Because he is. He is old. No, he's 80 years old. No, Donald Trump is... he's fast becoming a lame duck president. I didn't call him a lame duck, yes, but he's fast becoming a lame duck. He doesn't have to face the voters anymore.
Quit aging him. He's 79.
That's the definition of a lame duck, is not facing the voters anymore. And so there's a certain amount of inevitability that he just doesn't have the power he once had, because everyone's moving forward and looking on. And sometime in the very near future, people are going to start, the Mike Pences of the world, and are going to start announcing they're running for president. And then everybody starts talking about the next election cycle. And he's not on it. And he's going to be left for the history books. That's why he's a lame duck. 922 here, Big 550 KTRS, 314-931-5877, 314-931-5877, or text your comments to 84126. I think the text of the day I think it's ironic that the same day they legalize gambling, they restrict porn. I saw in the news yesterday, and they were talking about restricting porn, and then they went to a commercial promoting gambling. I don't do either. I just thought that was ironic. He doesn't gamble, and he doesn't do anything else online. The man needs a free country club car wash to take the edge off, if you will. 9:23 here at Big 550 KTRS. Let's talk Ronald McDonald House, because Ronald McDonald House is a wonderful organization. End of the year giving. If it's not going to change your life, the Ronald McDonald House is going to certainly make life a little bit easier for a family who's going through probably the worst moments of their lives when they have a child who is sick and they come into St. Louis, strange town, big city. They don't know where to turn, and now they're going to spend, the better part of the next couple of months in the hospital. It's very stressful. Plus, they have to deal with the rest of the family. At the Ronald McDonald House, it's a home away from home. They have 2 locations. They just opened up a state-of-the-art location right off of, Tower Grove Road and Highway 40. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Last year alone, they helped over 500 families. The average stay is 30 days. Think about having to move to a new town, even if it's 40, 50 miles out of the area. They move to St. Louis or come to St. Louis. They want to do everything they can to help the child in the hospital, but they have 2 other kids. Then they have to take care of themselves, so they have the energy to take care of the kids. That's where the Ronald McDonald House comes in. Home-cooked meals, a place to go take a nap that has a home feel to it, where the kids are safe off in the playroom playing, so you can relax, stress-free, talk to the doctors, take the time you need to be ready for the children and the family. That's the Ronald McDonald House, and they've been going strong for all these many years, and they have an end-of-the-year giving campaign. And as I said, if it's not going to change your life, it is certainly going to change someone else's life. RMHC, Ronald McDonald House Charities, RMHCSTL.com.
And Heidi, Bob, and Josh are going to be at the Ronald McDonald House today.
How about that? Today at 3. RMHCSTL.com. Captain Paul, St. Louis Closet Company.
McGraw crash on 44 West at North Broadway downtown has been cleared. Emergency vehicles are on 70 West at Mid-Rivers Mall. 64 West bogs down in front of Forest Park. And the signals are on flash at Tesson Ferry and East Concord and at Route N and Hawk Ridge. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. Give the gift of savings this holiday season to the young savers on your list with a smart savings account from Neighbors Credit Union. They'll earn 10% APY on the first $1,000 in balances. Visit neighborscu.org for complete details. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Experience a musical kaleidoscope as the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra performs Shostakovich's 15th Rebellion and Reckoning. Shostakovich's final symphony blends the composer's memories into an unforgettable and epic symphonic memoir. Cellist Kian Soltani joins to make his St. Louis debut, using his bow to tell the story of Haydn's Elegant Cello Concerto, December 5th and 6th at Powell Hall at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Tickets at slso.org.
Let's talk about a getaway where you're not spending all the time on the road. How about Innsbruck? Think about it. You could go from your desk to a canoe and do some fishing in about 25-30 minutes. They've got A-frames, they got tree houses, or if you're looking for a place to live that's away from hustle and bustle, custom homes and condos as well. It is absolutely gorgeous. Have you been out? Have you looked? Go to Innsbruck-resort.com to find your getaway.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883. Shop your ultimate gifts, decor, fashion. Celebrating 30 years, give the ultimate unique gifts from Christopher's and Mark Anthony's Gifts, St. Louis's premier gifting and decor destination, located in downtown Kirkwood, Missouri. Now 2 brands, 1 location. Visit us at 127 East Argonne, Kirkwood, Missouri, 63122, or online at stlgift.com. Happy holidays from our family to yours. Remember, be kind, gift kindly.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
Too much on your list this season? There's no better time to switch to payroll with Gusto. Gusto saves you 2 days every month on payroll, taxes, and compliance. So you can go from making payroll to making gingerbread houses, checking your books to decking the halls, spreadsheets to snow angels. Switch before the end of the year and there's no need to transfer payroll history. Now that's a reason to be merry. Choose a future with Gusto and get more time for what matters. Get started for free at gusto.com.
I'm Bob Hardcastle. Listen to my Money Talk radio program every Sunday morning from 8 to 9 a.m. on the Big 550, where we discuss your money in an easy-to-understand manner. We have interesting guests, chat about money. We try to help you feel more comfortable with your money by talking about the investment market. Join me. I'm Bob Hardcastle.
Money Talk, Sunday morning at 8 on the Big 550 KTRS.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
KTRS and the U.S. Marines are playing Santa for the 2025 Big 550 Toy Drive. Light up the life of a child by dropping off your new Unwrapped Toys for Tots donation at the KTRS Studios in Westport Plaza Friday, December 12th from 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. as we broadcast live all day from the KTRS Toy Drive headquarters.
I hope you get lots of presents.
The Big 550 KTRS Toy Drive is brought to you by Woods Basement, St. Louis Cardinals, Allen Roofing, Lordo's Diamonds, Overstock Outlet, and the Big 550 KTRS.
Christmas is here again. Ho, 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 ho.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
Love me a little John Cougar. Doesn't get the respect he deserves.
He does not.
Love me some John Cougar. 9:31 here, Big 550 KTRS. Let's go back to the phones here. The text lines are going crazy. Let's see here. I caught the end of your Westwood One show last night. Why are you calling Pete Hegseth that poor guy? You cannot feel the least bit bad for his self-imposed problem he's created, do you? I don't. I used it, I guess, as a figure of speech. I used it as a, I don't know. I just, the guy's in the midst of this, where his own party, where Judge Napolitano from Newsmax is calling it a war crime. When you lose Newsmax and you're Pete Hegseth, you're in trouble. So the guy's in serious trouble. And then the Pentagon that you run releases a report that brings up the whole, oh yeah, you text the war plans to bomb the Houthis. You sent that to a journalist. And then you kicked all the journalists out of the Pentagon. So, I mean, the poor guy can't get out of his own way. And then secondly, kick the guy while he's down. Remind everybody that, oh, yeah, that's right. He texted the war plans of the military operations to a journalist. So, I mean, the knives are out for Pete Hegseth. So that's why I said the poor guy. You're kicking the guy when he's down. He clearly doesn't know what he's doing, and he's in all sorts of hot water. He starts blaming the admiral for everything. First he said he watched the whole thing. Then he said he left the room. They can't get their stories straight. The gang that doesn't know what's going on, and then so that's why I meant it. The other thing, too, somebody on the text line brings up a great point. It is odd. Can we at least acknowledge that it's odd? That it's okay to kill these guys the first time, but you can't try and kill them the second time? I mean, I don't understand military justice. I don't understand the laws of engagement. That's why you have these lawyers and these JAG officers and everybody else who's sort of in charge of all this stuff. I don't understand it. So you have to sort of defer to the experts in all this. But I haven't heard too many experts say that what he did was acceptable, unless you're, Donald Trump or directly in the, cabinet room trying to carry the water for the administration. I haven't seen too many military guys and anybody who knows anything about this to say, oh, yeah, it was justified, including Judge Napolitano from Newsmax.
Love Judge Nap. He's a smart guy.
Right? So that's interesting. That's why I said it. So there you go. Let's see here. McGraw, since you are living in Weldon Spring, Recca contamination area, do you watch a few documentary movies about the contamination atomic home front, the first secret city, the safe side
of the fence?
I'm in one of those. Documentaries, but I think that had to do with the burning nuclear site over there in Earth City. And I know about the entombed nuclear waste out there off of 94. So I don't know if watching it, but anyway, I caught the end. Oh, I said that. Let's see here. Winning text. You're an idiot, McGraw. Okay. Well, sorry, we already gave it away. Let's go to the phones here. Joe, good morning, Joe. You're on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, McGraw.
Yes.
You know who's next? The clown that's next is Kash Patel. You talk about two guys who are solely unqualified for their positions. Both of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I know he's getting criticized for, sending planes for his girlfriend or something. And I know there was some story about him demanding some type of FBI jacket to make him look more the part. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that Donald Trump likes Kash Patel in that spot. I think Donald Trump likes Pete Hegseth in that spot. They are totally subservient to him. They don't show any independence at all. And that's not a negative. I would think the biggest MAGA supporter would say, yeah, that's exactly right. Kash Patel should do whatever Donald Trump tells him to do as the head of the FBI. So I'm not being critical. I'm just sort of stating a fact. Whereas this Pete Hegseth might become a liability to Trump here in the next day or two. And we all know that the guy, the minute the Hegseth story starts to, hurt Trump, Trump has no use for that. So Trump will get rid of him in a moment's notice. So he's a pretty calculating politician. So I don't know if Pete Hegseth lasts the year.
The scary thing is, who is he going to pick to replace him? Good Lord. That's what worries me, though. What will replace Hegseth if he goes?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe RFK Jr.
Oh, sure. There's another one.
I don't know. I don't know why that's not a story. You got his girlfriend, his texting girlfriend, saying that he's doing drugs and he's not very stable, and that's sort of like, oh yeah, what else is going on? I mean, the head of Health and Human Services in the midst of a whooping cough outbreak and a measles outbreak, and with bird flu everywhere, and you got right on the heels of COVID. The Secretary of Health and Human Services is kind of a big deal. And
oh God,
he's busy texting and doing some type of psychedelic drugs, according to his ex-girlfriend. So Go figure.
It's the wild and wacky world of Donald Trump, and we're living in it.
I hear you. God love you. Joe, thanks for the phone call. 9:37 here, Big 550 KTRS. I hope you're getting enough rest after your night gig. You tired and disheveled on YouTube. Take vitamin B12. Do I look tired and disheveled?
Not any worse than normal.
Not any worse than normal. I always look tired and disheveled. Hey, McGraw, ABC came out last night and completely exonerated any wrongdoing by Defense of War on the drug boats. Keep up and quit spreading ridiculous narratives. I don't know if a news organization, ABC, has the authority to completely exonerate the wrongdoing of a defense secretary. I think you might be referring to maybe a story on ABC that they said somebody else exonerated him, but I'm pretty sure ABC did not exonerate Pete Hegseth. So I'll look into that. Tyson, line 1. Tyson, good morning. Welcome to KTRS Radio.
Hey, good morning this morning.
Good morning.
Living in the crazy world of Donald Trump. You know what I find funny is that if you're a Harvard graduate, a black woman with 10 years of experience, you're a DEI hire. If you're a black pilot, you might be a DEI hire, even though you passed all the tests, met all the criteria. But a Fox News host is fine to run whatever department. That's not DEI, right?
Well, I don't think it's DEI. It's they weren't looking for a diversity when it came to a white male. Maybe they hired enough weekday hosts. Now they wanted a weekend host as a bit of diversity. Yeah, I don't know. I would say Janet Pirro, right? Or what's her? Janine Pirro. She's a DEI hire.
Well, the point is that they're worried about qualifications because of the skin color. But if you're white, your qualifications don't matter. You can be a Fox News host and run the Department of Defense or the FBI or Janine Pirro.
It was an interesting pick, Kash Patel and Pete Hegseth. A very interesting pick. Or, for that matter, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., right? The man who doesn't believe in science is in charge of Health and Human Services.
Right. The qualifications don't matter as long as you're Team Trump.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to run a country. It's his world, and we're just living in it. So
It kind of applies to the immigration policy too, doesn't it? Because we were told they were just going to get rid of the worst of the worst for national security. We're deporting guys that go to church and work and are married and haven't committed any crimes. How's that helping national security? I'm a little confused.
Well, what about the other day when he said we don't have enough talent in America and we need these visas? So the man is saying both things at the same time, right? He goes after the poor Somali immigrants and in one instance, and then says we don't have enough talent in this country. We have to export it from other countries. So he kind of says everything.
Oh, the Somalis are eating everybody's pets. So, I mean, that makes sense, right?
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Yeah, I don't. Again, Tyson, I know businesses here in town, anecdotally, that are having a devil of a time trying to find people to sort of work in their company because they keep on getting deported. And it's a real strain on a lot of different industries, whether it's in the construction world, in the home improvement world, in the restaurant world. Some of the back-breaking work, farmers, some of the back-breaking work that Americans will not do. But here's the question I don't think anyone's asking. So Trump says that these 19 countries are not allowed, and he's right, taking away green cards and not letting these people into the country. We're hosting the world for the World Cup in a couple of months. How are you going to justify not allowing these people into the country and then inviting all these people from all these countries into the United States to watch soccer matches?
It makes no sense. We can't even get all the people that helped us in Afghanistan over here. What if we have a conflict in the future and we want the locals to help us? Don't worry, we'll take care of you.
Yeah.
Except we won't.
I don't. That one, I'm watching that space. Tyson, thanks for the phone call. Appreciate it. I'm watching that space because contrary to popular belief, the majority of undocumented workers come into this country not through the Rio Grande and not through a tunnel, even though they do come through the tunnels and they do come through the Rio Grande and they do, in the middle of the night, make a mad dash for it with a hired gun, right? A drug or a human smuggler to pay to get them over. The overwhelming majority of undocumented workers come into this country legally with a visa and then on a plane through the airport, through customs. And then they're supposed to say 3 months, 6 months, 1 week, 2 weeks, and then they end up staying. That's the biggest, quote unquote, hole in immigration. It's the people we let into the country, and then they're free to roam around the country for 6 months on a visa. And after the visa's expired, they don't go back home, thus being in this country without papers. And so you're going to invite the world to America for the World Cup and allow these people to come in with visas. And then how many of them are going to stay? Right? I mean, if you don't want the bad guys in the country, don't allow anybody into the country. That's why you're banning these 19 countries. So don't let them in the country. But, after the World Cup, you got to let them in after. So I'm expecting the World Cup to be a point of contention. At some point, someone's going to tell Trump, oh, by the way, you're letting in all these people from all these countries for the World Cup. And then he's going to say, no, we're not. And then what are you going to do? How are you going to have a World Cup? Just let the team in? I don't know. I'm expecting some type of issue with that at some point here. All right, 944 here, Big 550 KTRS. Carl is infringing on my free speech rights. Let me tell you about Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe is a board-certified St. Louis native and a primary care physician, and he's opened up a weight loss clinic to simplify the process for you. These weight loss drugs are amazing, these GLP-1s, right? But, however, it's hard to find a doctor who can prescribe them to you, and then it's hard to find the actual medicine. Guess what? Dr. Joe has simplified all of it. He opened up a weight loss clinic, stlmedweightloss.com. Go to the website. Lots of great information on the website. When you're ready, call, make an appointment. You can do it through telemedicine, which is very normal these days. You can do it on the phone. You can do it over Zoom. You can do it over Skype. Once you are approved, then they'll send the medications right to your front doorstep. And in no time, you will be losing weight. Ask about the KTRS specials. They got massive KTRS specials for the end of the year. The last time I talked to them, it was buy 1 month, get the next month free as a KTRS listener. So call, set up the appointment, and start that weight loss journey early. I'm telling you, if you start it now, you're going to get a jump on your New Year's resolution, and come January and February, you're going to be down, and there's going to be clothes will be fitting you better, and you'll feel great, and you'll be glad you got a jump on the new year. STLMedweightloss.com. STLMedweightloss.com.
Look at our alums, the contributions that they have made throughout industries in the St. Louis region.
Terry Freerks, a graduate of the University of Missouri, St. Louis.
UMSL is embedded in the fabric of the St. Louis community. We're hands-on, and when our students graduate, they are definitely career ready, but maybe more importantly, they're career confident.
More is what moves us. Find your more at more.umsl.edu.
Worldwide Technology Raceway is the only track in America to host a NASCAR event, an IndyCar event, and an NHRA event.
Don't miss Wonder Christmas Lights LED Spectacular, November 14th through January 4th.
The track, under the leadership of owner Curtis Francois, continues to upgrade the race experience for fans who come from around the country. For tickets, go to www.raceway.com.
Hi, I'm Matt Beatty, owner of Beatty Roofing, and we are proud to support Light Up Glennon. With over 70 years of experience, we have the best team and fleet in our industry. We provide smart project management, delivering commercial and residential projects on schedule, on budget, and done right. We always strive to exceed client expectations and have relationships with a diverse range of roofing material manufacturers, which allows us to utilize the optimal materials your roof will require. Call 314-892-1331 or visit us online at BeattyRoofing.com. Have a blessed holiday season.
Kuna Food Service has been the trusted food supplier in the Midwest since 1918. For over 100 years, Kuna Food Service has been distributing the highest quality food products to some of your favorite restaurants while delivering superior customer service. When a restaurant puts their trust in Kuna Food Service, they get a team that truly cares about their success. That's why at Kuna, they like to say, they're big enough to handle it, yet small enough to care. Check them out online at kunafoodservice.com.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
On the job, every minute counts. That's why Lowe's now has ProBlock Quick Dry Primer, expertly manufactured by Sherwin-Williams. Engineered for pros to dry fast and go on smooth for virtually flawless results that keep your job moving. It's available in oil and water-based, and getting it is easy. Order online by 2 p.m. and get free same-day delivery right to your job site. Lowe's, we help, you save. Orders placed after 2 p.m. will be delivered next day. Valid in select zip codes. Subject to driver availability. More terms apply.
This holiday season, if you're looking to give that special client, friend, or family member a gift they won't forget, then how about a gift card from Annie Gunn's and the Smokehouse Market? Annie Gunn's St. Louis Magazine Restaurant of the Year continues to deliver irresistible cuisine served by the dedicated and knowledgeable staff in a comfortable and inviting setting. The Smokehouse Market, where you can pick up foods and wines inspired by the richness of country life, offers succulent steaks, pork chops, baby back ribs, and an array of imported and domestic cheeses, mustards, olive oils, sauces, pastas, or farm-fresh produce. So make this holiday season one to remember with a gift card from Annie Gunn's and the Smokehouse Market. Stop in or go to AnnieGuns.com. Everyone at Annie Gunn's and the Smokehouse Market wish you a safe and happy holiday season.
No.
Frank Cusimano and Jill Farmer, weekdays 10 to noon, right here on KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
$9:51 here, Big 550, KTRS. Lots of people on the text line commenting about the nighttime show. Yeah, day 3 was last night, and we're settling in a little bit. It's still. I mean, this show, it's just set up. It runs. Right?
You've been doing it for a while.
Carl knows what he's doing. Rose knows what she's doing. I don't know what I'm doing, but right, it just sort of, the show happens. We know. That show at night, you're starting from scratch, so you gotta rebuild it or start to do it and figure out what you're doing and the different clocks and different people and different topics, and so it's a process, if you will. But day 3, they haven't told me to They haven't told me to go home yet. So
You coming back tomorrow?
So I'm coming back tonight. Bill Cleveland was on the show last night.
How was Bill?
Bill Cleveland's a nice guy. He reminded me that I met him back at the old folks station when Carney was doing 10 to 2, and he was in high school, and somehow he knew Carney, knew somebody who knew Carney, and Carney invited him to come to the studio and take a look and sort of, take a tour of the studios, and that's when he met me for the first time. And then I heard him on with Frank for years and years and years. I've always loved what he did. So I, when this happened, it's a great story, right? But 2013, 2014, he sold everything. Sold his house, all the remnants in his house, kept a couple of boxes of souvenirs, and hit the road and became a road, he hates the phrase influencer, but a road
reviewer.
He travels all across the country, and he's just this sort of wanderlust, this wandering, traveling reporter. And he has a great website, Bill on the Road. He just wrote a book about presidential houses, and he's living the life. And he goes all across the country, and he stops at roadside attractions, and just is living a nomad life, and he's loving every minute of it. So he's going to join us every Thursday. That's the plan, to talk about the travel segment, right? The Rick Steves of the next generation. So he said he'd do it, and we're thrilled to have him. So that's that. What else is going on? Apparently, this Kenny G, 25 years ago, sat next to somebody who was a board member at CBC, and they stayed friends all these years.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and so this board member invited Kenny G to come and talk to the high school about, being famous and being a saxophonist and everything else. And so what a great story. Sit down next to a plane, you sit down the plane, and Kenny G sits down next to you, and they start having a conversation, and you stay friends all those years. It's a great story. I'll tell you the story when who was the baseball player from the Padres, the hitter?
Tony Gwynn?
Tony Gwynn. I'm on a Southwest Airlines flight, and it's one of those classic examples where you're on the aisle and the middle seat's open, and so you're pretending not to make eye contact with any of the people walking by because you want them to go somewhere else, and you want to keep that middle seat to yourself. And the plane is just about full, and the seat next to me is still open, and I'm in the middle of the plane. They close the door, right? I mean, the last one's in, they close the door, and you're thinking, oh, man, I got the middle seat to myself. Made it, right. Well, with this, Tony Gwynn walks by. So I say, Mr. Tony Gwynn, how you doing? I'll sit in the middle. You can sit right here on the aisle. And he takes one look at me. He's like, I'm going to the back of the plane. I don't want to sit anywhere near you.
Oh, I got recognized.
Yeah, the last thing I want to do is talk to some guy who
knows who I am.
He's known. He's passed away now, but he was known for being insanely nice, just overly pleasant to fans and friends and charities. I mean, he was just one of the nicest men you'd ever meat, so they say. And
but not to you.
I was like, oh my goodness, I get the 3-hour plane ride next to Tony Gwynn. Here, I'll sit in the middle. I just want to ask you about baseball. Yeah, no, I'm going to the back. I'm going to go sit with the chickens. All right, we're officially done. Jill and Frank from Our Lady of the Snows over in Belleville.
Yep.
They can go hang out at the Huffborough House. Oh wait, that's not open anymore. Let's talk Dents Express. 2 locations, 1 great family. Dents Express. Dings, dents, scratches, door knocks, whatever you got in the car. It's ugly. It's unsightly. And now that the snow and the rain has come, it makes the car look even worse. Call Dents Express and make an appointment. That's it. That's the only thing you got to do. And then when the appointment comes, bring the car in. They'll do the rest. 30-plus years they've been doing this. They're technicians. They're the newest technician, the newest worker at Dents Express was hired 14 years ago. Think about that for a second. They know what they're doing. They have the expertise. They have the tradition. They have the know-how to fix that car. The response has been phenomenal. The people, the KTRS listeners who've gone to Dents Express come back to me, and they can't believe how the car looks so new. Paintless dent removal, hail damage, minor collision, even though you and I would call it major. Dents Express, next to the old Gettekers that doesn't exist anymore, right there on Manchester Road in Baldwin and, of course, in St. Charles. Dents Express, STL.com. They'll also work with your insurance company, so you don't have to. We're done. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow, 6 a.m. So long.
Carney, Buck.
Thursday on the Carney Show, we'll talk about the 30th anniversary Hanukkah celebration happening at the Schnucks Ladue Crossing Shopping Center. John Carney and Julie Buck will be here in the house, and we'll talk sports with KTRS Sports Director Brendan Weesey. It all starts at noon.
John Carney, Julie Buck, weekdays at noon on KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Does live, local, and the talk of St. Louis make sense? It has for us.
And for the St. Louis region for 29 years.
Listen online on the KTRS mobile app. Watch us on Facebook and on our YouTube channel at 550 KTRS TV, just to see who rolls.